Hey everybody, happy Monday. How are y'all feeling? How are you all doing? It's the first day of fall. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss The Real Housewives of Miami, season 7, episode 16. And I have a lot to say. It was a great episode. And Adriana, girl, I feel like you were crashing out at the end. I was just like, girl, what is going on? Yes, hey, come on in the room. Come on in the room. Make sure to hit that the like button as you come on in. Hey, yes, honey. Come on. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Come on in, honey. Yes. Hey, yes, come on in. Come on in. Happy Monday. How are y'all doing? Happy to see y'all. Happy to be in the room. I hope y'all had a nice weekend. How are y'all feeling? Oh, we have Ethiopia in here. Oh my gosh, how are you? I'm happy that you're here. Yes, come on in. Your lunch break. Hey guys. Hey y'all, how are you doing? I hope y'all are doing well. Be sure to whack Kiki and Adriana a few times, please. I got you. Because Adriana tried it. Kiki tried it. Everybody tried it. I mean, I'm definitely more on Kiki's side about that end. But yeah, no, I have some choice words for Kiki because that scene with that deadbeat father, I said, no, ma'am. So we will be talking about that. I got you. Yes, honey, I'm international, honey. I'm worldwide. Brooke, I'm getting married on Thursday. Oh my gosh, congratulations. I'm wishing you a very blessed and happy wedding day and a happy marriage. That is beautiful. Congratulations. Hey, y'all, come on in. I'm sorry, but Kiki's actually my favorite. No, it's okay. You don't have to be sorry about anything. This is a judgment-free zone. You can like who you want to like. That is totally fine. Hey, y'all. Hey, Brooke, I'm actually on time to a live today. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. How are y'all feeling? How are y'all? Okay. Oh, you're hot. You're from Virginia. Oh, hey, come on in, y'all. Hey, y'all. How are you? I was agreeing with Lisa at points. I'm angry. Yeah, I was agreeing with Larsa too. Hold on. May I say, Larsa has been enjoyable these last few episodes. I'm like, okay, Larsa's giving us some personality, not so monotone, not so dry, and I'm here for it. I said, okay, Larsa, more of this. But I've been enjoying Larsa. She's had a few drinks in her system. She's fun. I'm here for it. All right. Okay, you said thank you, Miss Mamas, because you're about to get me through this shift. Okay, well, I'm glad I can do that. Yes, Larsa's been very tolerable. Yes. You said don't fall for Larsa. She's low-key winning me over, okay? You said I've had 10 days off for my birthday, and the way I've been up under you and Kemp these last few days. Oh, I'm screaming. Oh, I love that. 10 days off. I love that. And happy belated birthday to you. That's awesome. All right, y'all. Are we all in the room? You just got off of work. Hey, I'm happy that you're in here. Larsa made sense this episode. I agree. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's get into it. Okay, so we open up the episode. It is Larsa's moving day. Now, may I tell y'all, I completely forgot that Larsa was moving. I feel like her beef with Lisa has overshadowed her actual personal life with her moving into a new house because I completely forgot. Did she even mention that she was moving this season? I don't even know. I feel like we've only heard about Marcus, her beef with Lisa and Jody, and not much else. So we see that Larsa is moving. Now we see that it's 3 days before Art Basel. We have Adriana at an art gallery. She's talking to the owner of the gallery. His name is Dominic. Adriana says that she's excited. Art Basel is one of the biggest contemporary art fairs in the world. Stephanie says that Art Basel is the it week to be in Miami. That's very true. Larsa says that Art Basel, people fly in from everywhere. And Alexia says, during Art Basel, we celebrate art, fashion, and music, all of it. Lisa had me screaming. She said, people plan their outfits for Art Basel. Some people, but not me, have a hard time getting into the parties. Not me, girl. Like, I'm good. But for the rest of y'all, you might have issues, but I don't. I said, okay, girl, I know that's right. Now, let me say this. I've been to Art Basel. I went a few years ago. I had a great time. Art Basel is that girl. The parties are amazing. I mean, honey, make sure that your coins are right. The outfits have to be on point. But yeah, Art Basel, I definitely want to go. hopefully this year I've been so booked and busy this year. But yeah, if I have time, it's what, the first week of December every year. But yes, honey, Art Basel is that girl. Definitely do it. Like Art Basel is it. Okay. So they were not lying when they said that Art Basel is definitely the time to be in Miami. And I love Miami anyway. Shout out to my Miami girls. Shout out to South Beach. Shout out to the Ritz-Carlton South Beach. That's my hotel. Every time I stay there, honey. Shout out to y'all, okay? Yes, honey. Zipping it and zooing it. Yes. Yes, honey. Lisa said, let's be clear. She said, let's be clear. She said, I'm that girl. She said, I don't know about y'all, but I'm that girl. I am the girl. I get in. All right. I don't, Lisa let us know that she said she is not like everybody else. She said she's up here, everybody else is over there. I don't have an issue getting in front of that velvet rope. Okay. She said, I don't stand in line. Lisa had me screaming. Hi, Brooke. I live in Miami. Art Basel is fun. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that for you that you live in Miami. Oh, I love that. Oh, I know you have a good time. I love Miami. Like, I don't care what anybody says. I've been to Miami 8 times and I love Miami. I love Miami so much. Like, people like to say, oh, it's just Miami. No, honey, Miami is that girl. Miami is that girl. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay. We in Miami in the building. Yes. Come on. 305. Yes. What's the other area code over there? 786. Shout out to my Miami girls. Okay. No, hold on. If the next time I'm in Miami, I want to do a meet and greet with my Miami girls. Okay. Like, I got you. We're going to do something cute in like Bal Harbor. I love the Bal Harbor Mall. All right. Like, yes, we'll do something really cute. Okay. All right. Okay. We could do a cute little lunch at the bar at the St. Regis Bal Harbor across the street. All right. Something really cute and luxe. All right. Or at the restaurant in the Neiman Marcus. All right. We'll do something. Okay. I got y'all. So we now see Adriana say that she's been in the art world for 2 decades. She's represented many international artists all the way from France, Sweden, Brazil. Now, one thing about Adriana is very cultured. That's a very worldly woman. And I will always give Adriana her 10s because Miss Mamas has been around the world. She speaks 5 languages. That is a very educated woman. And I love to see a smart woman. Like, I love that. So she goes on to say that she even worked with Martina a few years ago and gave Martina her own solo show. We see the flashback from 2021 when Julia first joined the show and Martina had her art show hosted, curated by Adriana. We find out that Adriana she found a new emerging artist from Britain. She's bringing him to Miami to show his exquisite artworks. So I think that's really cool. Again, shout out to Adriana. I love the fact that she's very immersed in the art world. She used to be an art curator. I think she still is. But the fact that Adriana is so intelligent, I love that. I always forget that about how involved Adriana is in the art world. Yeah, I do too, because Adriana can be so deep in the mess. You do forget about that. But when she's in her bag, Miss Mamas is in her bag, okay? I would like her to be on a travel show. I'd watch it. She's full of knowledge. Yes. You said Adriana kind of gives Luann with how cultured she is, but Lou had more of a personality and delusions. You said Brooke giving Adriana flowers before the whacking. Oh, you know how I do. I love how cultured and well-traveled Adriana is. Same. You said we know Martina's art was BS. Oh, it was BS. We never saw that art again. I said, girl, stop. So now we cut to Kiki. I'm going to do my best to not fly off the handle because every time we see Kiki forcing her deadbeat father on our screens, I have a visceral reaction. We see Kiki getting glam for her photo shoot. She's at a private plane hangar. She's going to be taking pictures on a private jet with some Louis Vuitton luggage, right? So while she's in glam, we see her dad pull up. Now, this might be petty of me, But did anybody stop and see what car he got out of? He jumped out of a brand new BMW. And my first thought was, how much do you want to bet that Kiki is the one paying for his BMW? Because I seriously doubt that this bum of a man has the coin to pay for a luxury car. I just said I don't believe it. I was so aggravated. Listen, honey, the way that I'm very petty. I wrote it in my notes. I said, oh, he got out of a BMW. I was livid. And I looked it up too. I said that BMW is what, 75 grand. I was so irritated. I was just so aggravated. Yeah. Okay. So we're all in agreement that Kiki is probably footing the bill. Okay. So we see each other. Yes. I was so aggravated. That's the only reason why he went to her shoot. Yes. I was so aggravated. I think you think he just rents it for the show. Listen, I was so aggravated. You said that's Kiki's, y'all. He definitely does not have the coins for that. Kiki pays for it and is a fool for doing it. Okay. I was so aggravated. So anyhow, Kiki's dad sees her all in glam and he says that she looks gorgeous. Kiki says, I'm happy that he's there. Kiki reminds us that she was kicked out of the house at a young age for modeling. She says in the Haitian culture, modeling is the equivalent to being a prostitute or a stripper. Now, I thought that Kiki looked gorgeous in this. Kiki's a beautiful woman anyway. Kiki looked really beautiful in the red gown, the hair. She looked great, right? So when she starts doing her photo shoot, her dad taking pictures of her, I was just my blood was boiling because I felt like, how dare you? A few episodes ago when Kiki and you guys went out to lunch, you could not even be a man and apologize for what you did. You could not even tell your daughter, I'm sorry for doing what I did to you. And now you want to sit up here and take pictures like you're a proud father. You always believed in her. I was trying my damnedest not turn off the TV. I was just so irritated. Like you have the audacity to sit up here like you were always a supportive father. You left your daughter out in the streets. What kind of parent does that? I'm just irate because it's like Kiki wants to force this man down our throats and we don't want to see him. And I saw somebody say that, it was a touching moment and it was a full circle moment. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm very cold-hearted and that's fine if I am. But for me, I didn't see that as any, sweet, touching, endearing, full circle moment. This man, your father, left you out for dead, literally. He kicked you out of the house when you were a teenager. That is unacceptable. He did. Then when you confront him 20 years later, he doesn't even apologize to you. There's no full circle moment. I didn't feel warm and fuzzy inside watching that. All I saw was a deadbeat father who now wants to cash in on his daughter, who's now the cash cow of the family. That's what I saw. Thank you. Full circle for who? Her father is and was trash. Exactly. It was a full circle moment as in it went around and around the drain. Exactly. The one thing that was touching has unresolved trauma to take care of. Maybe it has to be that. Kiki was abandoned as a child. So instead of blaming the parent, she has internalized it as her fault. That's why she's letting that man run all over her. It has to be that because I'm not understanding how she can act like, she's so happy that he's there. And again, I'm not trying to come down on Kiki. I'm not trying to be mean, but I guess I just have such an anger for deadbeat parents. Like, again, I don't want to get on my soapbox, but I feel like I could not imagine having parents who did not love me. And my heart really breaks for people who had that experience. It's not fair. And that's why so many people have low self-esteem today, because they had awful parents who not only did a horrible job raising them, but the fact that, they won't even apologize to their kids. Like, I really feel strongly about that. Too many people had kids and should not have had kids. Everybody's not meant to be a parent. And the fact that, people want to let Kiki's dad off the hook, I don't believe that. And her dad owes her an apology. And if I were Kiki, it would be, you would not speak to me until I got my apology, period. I told you guys, I was gonna get I'm get my apology. You gonna give me my apology. So it wouldn't be any of this. Well, that's the parent. No, no, ma'am. He took no accountability. I could never imagine being okay with getting rid of one of my kids. I just don't understand that. How can you do that to your own child? You said you tuned that whole scene out. Exactly. He's reaping the benefits after the abandonment he caused. No, sir. Exactly. Caribbean parents don't believe in apologizing, unfortunately. Well, let me tell you this, right? So, I'm Black American. I'm also Caribbean, right? So two of my grandparents are Caribbean, and the two of my grandparents are Black American, right? Now, my parents were an anomaly because my parents they apologized to us if they were too harsh. And I was that kid where this was not going to be over until I got an I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? And I really hate that there's that whole thing about, Black parents, Caribbean parents don't apologize, because it's like that should not be normalized in our culture. It should not be. If you're horrible to your kids, you need to, if you're harsh, if you lose your temper, you should apologize to your kids. But also, I was a big mouth kid. If you couldn't tell, I was a big mouth child. So I was gonna get my apology. If I felt like my parents are too harsh with me, I was gonna get my apology. So like, I don't know. I just really hate that. Okay, you said, hold on, my Haitian parents apologized. We had to teach them, but they learned. Oh, I love that. I love that. That's how it's supposed to be. I'm personally not sold on this storyline. Black American parents don't apologize either, especially if they're the boomer generation. I'm Antiguan. My parents apologize and cry, especially if it hurts me. My Caribbean parents apologize. Exactly. As they should. Yeah, listen, okay. Listen, honey. My parents apologize. They apologized when we were younger. So please, I wasn't going for it. God knew what family to place me in, because honey, listen, I'm gonna get my apology. So this whole thing with, this happened to Kiki and he just not apologized to her. No, ma'am. No. So, you have Kiki saying to her dad, Haitians believe that modeling means that you're walking around naked, but that's not true. So then she says to her dad, do you see me naked? Exactly. And he says, no. So then she says, I can't remember the last time I've seen my dad proud of me. Again, when Kiki said it's a full circle moment, I was so aggravated. But Kiki, here's my thing. You shouldn't even be craving this man's approval or if he's proud of you. This man was a deadbeat father. This man did you horribly. This is your father. Who gives a damn if he's proud of you or not? He has no leg to stand on, in my opinion. God bless everybody. God bless Kiki. But, this whole storyline and that scene really pissed me off. And then for her dad to be sitting up there with his phone out, cheesing like, he's a proud dad. Sir, you have nothing to do with your daughter's success. She made it because of the good Lord and herself, not because of you, because you were a horrible parent. So again, for you to sit up there and you want to reap the benefits, it's just not, I'll never go for it. I'll never stand for that whatsoever. Feel free to fight me in the comments. But in my humble opinion, I just think that it's horrible that this man is going to sit here now and play the proud, supportive father when he was a deadbeat and a bum. Just my 2 cents. Yes, he should be craving her approval. Exactly. Yeah, I was so aggravated. Didn't he say, look at you, as if he made it hard for her so she could climb her way to success? Yeah, he did. He wants to convince himself that had he not kicked her out, she wouldn't be where she is today. Absolutely not. I'm so aggravated. You said, as a parent, correcting the ways I was raised, there is no way I'd not apologize to my child. If I raise my voice an octave higher than I feel is appropriate, I say sorry. I love that. I love that. God bless you. This is good parenting. I know that's right. His taking photos was actually creepy. Hey, Rich the Fish, thank you for the super chat. That's the difference between Kenya and Kiki. Kenya demanded an apology, not a relationship with her mom. That's like Kenya has somewhat been able to heal. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. That's a very good point. Thank you for that, Rich the Fish. Hey, Mrs. D Green, thank you for this. Thank you for the super chat. I'm with you, Brooke. It's our job to raise our babies to up to be the best. Their early years in the home is the foundation to who they become. Yeah, I agree. I think that, listen, again, I'm not a parent as of yet, but I just could not imagine having a child and not loving on them. There's just no way. And then I feel like, personally, right, I do feel that parenting definitely correlates to self-esteem. I think that because I was raised with two healthy people, my parents loved me, they doted on me, they apologized to me. Um, they built such a strong foundation. They instilled confidence in me. They told me that I was beautiful every day, that I could do whatever I wanted to do, and there was nothing that was out of my reach. I believed that I could have whatever I wanted in life, right? I didn't have limited thinking, right? I think that correlates to who I am now as a woman, and why I have healthy self-esteem, because the foundation was laid when I was little. Again, I'm not trying to be philosophical. I'm not trying to act like I know it all or I'm an expert. I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist, but I do feel like there is a correlation to having a good upbringing ties into having a healthy self-esteem and a healthy self-love, if I had to guess. That's just me. Yeah, parents treating their children as actual human beings is sadly not a norm. That it's crazy. That's really wild to me. It's very sad, and a lot of people should not have been parents. Y'all, this live is making me cry because I wasn't raised in a household where I could speak up for myself and as an adult. I'm in therapy and doing all the things done to me, but I will be okay. First of all, thank you for sharing that. Again, I'm sending you a lot of love, sending you a lot of blessings. You will be okay. All right. You have breath in your body. It's a new day. Don't let the past define you. I know that those are all cliches, but it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? You're not your past. You don't have to take on what people said about you. But if your parents did not do a great job, they made you feel a way, just know that you don't have to live like that for the rest of your life. So yes, you are going to be okay. You're going to be more than okay. You're going to be better than okay. So don't even say you're going to be great. So you're going to be better than okay. You're going to be amazing. Okay. But God bless you. And I wish you the best on your journey. And just know that as long as you still have breath in your body, it is never too late to make a change and get better and undo whatever poison was, modeled to you growing up. All right. You don't have to stay in low self-esteem or self-doubt. Just know that you're going to be great. Okay. So I'm wishing you all the best. And thank you for sharing that. Yes, it doesn't matter what brought you, only what you leave with. You better preach. Listen, y'all better preach today. It doesn't matter how you start, but how you finish. So if you didn't have a great start growing up, you can still make a change and change it all and end it on a high note. So you don't have to stay where you were. You will always get better. And as long as you have breath in your body, as long as you are still here in the land of the living, you always have a chance to turn it around and have a great life. All right? Exactly. And amen to that. And won't he do it? Okay. I know that. Listen, y'all, it's true. So I'm happy. I'm happier in the live. No, it's true, y'all. Listen, you gotta let yourself know that it doesn't matter how you started. I don't care if people told you that you wouldn't be anything or it wouldn't happen for you. You don't ever believe that. As long as if you are still here, God still has a purpose for your life. Listen to me. I don't care how bad things are right now. Things always get better. Things always get better. I promise you. Y'all, I'm so serious. Do not ever internalize negativity, other people's self-doubt, nothing. Just know that as long as you are still here on this earth, living and breathing, there is still a purpose for you. And tomorrow is always a better day. So that's my 2 cents on the matter. Okay. All right. So just listen, y'all. I'm telling you what I know. All right. So please, I don't care what anybody has spoken over your life. It doesn't matter what they say. People don't have to see it for you. Just one more thing. I don't mean to get so preachy, but people don't have to see it for you. Just know that you don't need everybody's approval. You don't need everybody's support. If people don't think you're going to make it, that's fine. Let them think whatever they want to think. But as long as you know in your heart that you're going to do it, that's all that matters. You don't need folks to support you. You can make it without their support. All right. I told you guys a story 1,000,001 times about how folks laughed at my YouTube channel and they said I was going to flop, and somebody wished that I would drop dead. So please, honey. And now where am I and where are they? I'll wait. The same folks who laughed are now in my DMs asking how I did it and can I help them? And, now it's all that. Okay. First they hate on you, then they copy you, and then they're embarrassed. Okay. So just know that people don't have to see it for you. People don't have to believe in you. People don't even have to like you, and you can still make it anyway. So there's that. Now check that, how Phaedra said. All right. So that was just on my heart. Yes, honey. Honk the horn on them, Greg. Exactly. All right. So please. First people laugh. Let folks say whatever they want about you. All right. Okay. It's true. Listen, it's very true. What God has destined for you, nobody can take. It's true. Listen, one more thing. When it's your time and it's your turn, it does not matter. There is no devil in hell that can stop the purpose or the gift or the plan that God has over your life. It's true. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. You had to stop worrying about people liking you. I promise you, you can soar. Stop worrying about that. They don't determine your destiny. They don't determine your life. Okay. They don't have a heaven or a hell to put you in. Nobody does. So don't ever worry about what people think about you. Because like I told you, first people laugh at you, then they sit up there being a copycat, and then they're failing. Then they fail trying to copy you. So check that. All right. Now, I know we got off topic. You know what I'm saying? Listen, y'all. Okay. I did not mean to get off topic, but I just had to get that off of my chest. All right. Oh, I appreciate that. The message was needed. Oh Lord, Levette, if you're in here, I hope you're not mad, girl. Thank you so much. Thank you. I just had to get that word off of my chest. Okay. Yes, I did, honey. I just had to get that off of my chest one good time. Lord, I hope that helps somebody. Levette, if you're in here, just let me, just you're gonna be okay, child. Okay. Yes, honey, Levette, the timekeeper. Okay. So now we have. I've like lost place in my notes. Forgive me. We're back to Larsa. Larsa's in her new home, and I have to say, Larsa's new home is gorgeous. It is absolutely stunning. She has a conceptual artist, Wisby. He's there. He gifted her this big bear that's outside of her backyard. So we find out that everything is under construction except for her kitchen. Now, I'm surprised that Larsa was so eager to move in when the house isn't done yet. Like, I would have stayed in the penthouse for a few more months until it was all ready. But then I said, I'm sure she probably got tired of paying for the rent at the penthouse and then still paying now for the mortgage and the construction on the home. So I'm sure she's like, you know what? Let me just save a few dollars and stay in this place, even though it's under construction. So I get that. So now we find out that Larsa went over budget and the home was, I think, $5.8 million. But either way, that was money well spent because Larsa's home is beautiful. So we see Stephanie come over with some Jo Malone. I love a good Jo Malone candle. Stephanie's throwing some, slight shade. She says, I thought I was going to walk into a house with furniture, but this is a whole job site. So now we see Alexia come over with an Hermes gift, and they have a nice dinner. They're having a nice, cute little girls' dinner, and it was so funny because When I tell you guys, my mouth was watering at that spread. Larsa had a nice sushi spread laid out for them. Oh, I love sushi too. Give me some spicy tuna, some shrimp tempura. Chef's kiss, right? So Larsa says that it's the first home that she's ever owned by herself, and this house is more of her vibe. So as they're sitting down eating, we find out that her son Preston graduates this year in LA, then he'll be here. And then she says that Sophia has 2 more years of high school, but she's not trying to leave LA. Then she says, well, I don't want to be that mom who's like, you have to live here because that's not fair to them. Now, I was with Alexia when Alexia asked her, so what are you doing with such a big house with no kids? I'm very surprised that Larsa did buy this big home and she's an empty nester. Um, I'm not trying to critique anybody's parenting style. That's above my pay grade. I'm not a parent, so I don't want to speak out of turn. But for whatever reason, I kept forgetting that her kids are not in Miami, they're in LA. And I'm like, but don't you want to be with your kids? You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised that she's not in LA with them full time. Like I wonder how that is to be in Miami and your kids are miles away. But they obviously like it, so it is what it is. Maybe she wanted a generational wealth for her kids. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yes, leaving real estate behind for the kids. That's a good point. Let me see. I don't want to miss any super chats. Give me a minute. Hey Robert, thank you for the super chat. Happy Monday to my fave. I think Alexia was best dressed at the reunion. I hope the reunion bombshell isn't a letdown. Oh, I think that my best dress for the reunion, Alexia, I think Gertie looked beautiful. Adriana looked really pretty. And Lisa looked really good. They were my favorites for the reunion. Hopefully I think the Miami reunion will be good. She's been banished by the Kardashians. She's not allowed to live in LA. I thought the tea was that Larsa mostly lives in LA but comes to Miami for filming. I think I'm wrong though. Oh, that's true. Yes. I can see that. Yes. Okay, that makes sense. So now we have Larsa asking Alexia what's going on with her and Todd. And Alexia says, I don't know, Todd and I are dating again. We're just having fun. So now Larsa goes on to ask about the 3-month extension, that being almost over. And Alexia says, yeah, it'll be over January 1st. We haven't talked about it yet. Larsa, I loved how she was so upfront. She was like, listen, girl, Todd's going to bamboozle you. And Alexia says, you know what? You're right. Alexia says, I've given him a lot of power because I just wanted peace. Larsa and Stephanie both call her out. They say, you're not at peace though. And she's not at peace because low-key, Alexia, Todd is acting like you're his mistress. This man is using you as a booty call, even though you guys are still married on paper. That's not, like that, that man, he is long gone and he is using you up. Okay. He's preying on your desperation to still keep the marriage together. So now Alexia says the girls have the right to feel how they do. I love that they protect me so much, but I'm in love with him and I want to be with him and I hope that we can fix things. Alexia, I'm so happy that present day you and Todd are no longer a thing. I'm happy that you guys are officially divorced and you are moving on to greener pastures. That man has been playing you like a fiddle, okay? He has been playing in your face. And I'm so shocked that you have allowed this for so long. But I'm glad that present day, you guys are officially done. Thank God. Yep, she said, she told me when we talked at the DirecTV party, she said they're no longer together. They're done. That's finished. She's over it. And she wants, she's on to bigger and better, okay? Just having fun with your husband who abandoned you in the middle of the night during an active divorce is crazy work. Yes. How she moved on if he still pays for her and her kids? Well, I guess she's moved on emotionally. All right. Now we're going to a scene that we will be skipping. A scene that we will be skipping is Julia at home. I don't care. I'm tired of hearing about the whole sob story of her and her daughters not speaking to her and Martina. I don't have anything to say. Now, I will say, I'm going to say one thing though. When Julia made mention of her daughters coming around and their relationship getting a bit better, Martina was a bit too quick to shut that down. And I had to give a side eye to that. I'm like, shouldn't you be happy to hear that the girls are coming around and, you know, you guys might be back on a good page again? It just felt really weird that Martina was being kind of negative. She was like, well, you know, whatever. I don't think so. I just said, girl, what's this about? Like, are you like, I don't know. It was weird to me. It was weird. You said Martina is her number one hater. Hey. Thank you. I always skip Julia and Kiki's personal scenes. Martina is weird. Martina has weird energy. I agree. But yeah, I don't have anything more to say. But yeah, I thought that was really strange. Seeing Martina not being on board with the girls and them being close again. I thought that was strange. Now, a scene that one of my favorite scenes of the episode was Lisa. Lisa's at home and we see that Jody is surprising her with a romantic dinner. They have a private chef. Lisa says that she loves that Jody is all about family. He's great with her kids and he loves them like they were his own. So they're outside for their romantic dinner. And Lisa says that she's really happy that she's gotten a second chance at the family she's always dreamt of. So, you know, the chef comes out, the food looks good. We have Lisa saying, oh, it makes me feel like something special is about to happen right now. She's obviously hinting at an engagement. Jody picks up on it and he's like, you know, are you hinting about an engagement again? And Lisa says, look, I know I just got divorced, but I don't like the term girlfriend. I'm too old to be called a girlfriend. I can't be with somebody going on 3 years and still not be engaged. Now, Lisa, just my 2 cents. One, there's no way you could expect somebody to want to propose right after a divorce. I mean, you and Lenny, I mean, the ink is not even dry yet on the divorce papers. You got divorced 3 episodes ago. There's been a lot of drama. There's been a lot of tears. There's been a lot of emotions. You and Jody met when you were in the middle of your divorce. You guys did not meet on solid ground. You met with a very shaky foundation. So for you to kind of pressure him and say, well, I don't want to be a girlfriend and I shouldn't still be a girlfriend. It's like, if this were a relationship where you came into it single and not married, I can see that you feeling that way. But in this case, you can't really feel that way. You can feel however you want to feel, but you get what I'm saying. For you to get upset with him in this moment and you start going on and on about how, you know, you want to be engaged. I'm like, again, Lisa, you just got divorced. Also, I don't know if it's just me. Maybe this was how I was raised, but personally speaking, I was kind of taught that it's a bit desperate for the woman to be pressing a man on engagement. Like for me personally, I was always taught that, you know, if he's not talking about it and you want that, then leave and get somebody else. You know, like I feel like if I have to press a man about what are we or where is this going, I feel like that's desperate. I feel like I don't want to press somebody about how they feel. You get what I'm saying? I guess I don't know. I just wouldn't be asking that. I feel like if I have to ask that, then he doesn't like me that much, right? That's just how I feel. Like I don't want to ask a man about, do you see me as, you know, this or that? Like if I gotta ask that, then you don't like me like that. Cause I feel like a man knows what he wants. He's gonna come and get me and tell me, like, I'm not asking about marriage or an engagement. My thing is, have your timeline, keep that in your head. I feel like I'm not gonna be telling a man, oh yeah, you know, you have a year or you have 2 years. That's desperate to me. in my mind, it's like, okay, I have my timeline, and if it's not met, then I'm going to just excuse myself and leave. I'm not going to give some man an ultimatum, or that's always screamed desperation to me. So that right there, I was like, Lisa, what are we doing here? But Lisa is giving that you want to lock him down before he like escapes. I don't know. It's just you're moving. I don't want to say desperate, but you're moving like you're moving scared. But you know what? Scared is desperation. So yeah, I guess you are moving desperately. It's weird. I'm like, just settle into the relationship. Just be at peace, girl. You just got divorced. Yes, it was giving a woman in survival mode. Very much so. Ultimatums are such a bad look. They are. Y'all are so funny. Lisa wants to secure a bag. She wants her marriage life. Yes, I loved how Jody communicated. He was very respectful with it. So Jody says, here's the thing. Do you think that there's somebody else who would have sat through what I did for the last 2.5 years? And I said, let her know, Greg. I said, honk the horn on them, because Lisa is getting delusional. A lot of men would have ran for the hills dealing with that for 2.5 years. Like, Lisa, what are you talking about? So he says, I just need to know that if I get engaged, I'm not walking into chaos. And that's a valid concern. So he says, anytime something would happen with Larsa or you and Lenny, you would get mad at me and take your anger out on me. He says, people go through stuff. I can deal with that, but I'm not here for you going through your stuff and taking it out on me. Again, Jody was calm. I loved his tone was even and measured, and he was stating how he felt in a respectful manner, as he should. I love that. And women are always asking for men to, tell how they feel, show their emotions. So, Lisa, you can't get mad at him because he did just that, and I loved it. So now he says, what will make a difference for me is that if I saw you on your own without me. I don't want you to always need me to push you to do something. He says, I want you to, he says, whether it's books or therapy, I want you to own your life. And I think that's very important, especially for women. I think a lot of women, unfortunately, are too dependent on somebody saving them. Your life is yours. You got to take the steps to make your life better. You cannot depend on a friend, a man, a parent, a celebrity, whoever. You cannot depend on anybody else to make your life better. You have to do the work yourself. And that's been my biggest critique of Lisa. Again, I'm not trying to act like I'm an expert in life. We're all trying to do the best we can with what we've got, okay? But what I have noticed about Lisa is that Lisa acts it's past damsel in distress. Lisa plays that dumb blonde act a bit too far, and she acts very helpless. And that's always been my biggest, it's very annoying. And it's like, Lisa, you are a grown woman who could stand on her own 2 feet. And I was glad that he said, listen, Miss Mamas, I love you, but I need you to stop relying on me to make you happy and fix you. You got to do that. You got to do that inner work. Nobody can do that. And I was happy that he said that to her, because I don't think that Lisa's ever been told that she is to stand on her own 2 feet. It's important. It's very, yes, always want to turn her brain off. It's very true. It's very true. She likes to lean on people and give her all the answers that people can't read her mind. It's true. You've got to show up for yourself in this world. And I'm not saying that you can still have a soft life and still have your brain on. They're not mutually exclusive. I think that people have this feeling of, because you marry well or you have a great life, that you don't think anymore. You still have to think for yourself. And Lisa does not have that. Lisa has just let that skill atrophy. It's just like, it's getting very weak. And I just need her to know that she's not a weak woman. Stand up. And I was glad that he told her, like, babe, I love you, but you cannot rely on me as your emotional punching bag. You cannot rely on me to help fix you. You got to do that yourself. And I said, I'm so glad he said that, because Lisa needs to hear that. Lisa, I was happy to hear that when she said, you know what, I'm sorry, I'm going to work on it. She says, this divorce has made me angry and different. I never wanted to be like this. So then, she starts crying. He gives her a big hug and kiss. And again, it was a very sweet scene. I loved it. I think that it was a very vulnerable moment. And it was important for Lisa to hear, but for other people to hear. I think that people have got to get out of this habit of thinking that somebody's going to come and save them from their own life. Nobody's going to hand you the life that you want. You got to go out there and get it yourself. And that might sound harsh, but it's true. You have the power to create the life that you want. Again, I know it sounds cliche, but don't think that you're helpless. You're not helpless. If there's still breath in your body, you have a chance to make your life better. It's not over until you are 6 feet under. All right. If you still have breath in your body, please know that you are not helpless. Nothing is too bad that you cannot get out from. And I'm glad that he told her that. I remember this lady on TikTok in a similar position saying she didn't realize that her husband's love for her meant her children could eat. Being that dependent is dangerous. Yes, you've got it. Listen, you can still desire a provider man and still have your own money and still have your brain in your head. I just think that people are really losing it. You cannot be dependent on another adult. You know what I'm saying? It's just, we've got to get out of this whole thing of feeling like because somebody provides for you that you're just now a dummy and you can't use your common sense and your brain. That's not how this works. Yeah, stop giving. Yes, it's true. It's very true. Stop giving others the power over your life. It's true. It's very true. I'm serious, y'all. I'm very serious. So now we get to the night. They're all getting ready. Wait. Okay. No, sorry. Okay. So it's the night of Adriana's Art Basel party. And we have Adriana arrive to the Arlo Hotel first. Now, when I tell you I love the space, can we talk about those stairs for a minute? I said, when I tell you that is some good exercise, they must have walked up 100 flights of stairs for this party. And imagine doing that in a 5-inch Louboutin. I was here for it. But that's a gorgeous hotel. So we see Adriana saying that she is hopeful that she's a successful event because she put a lot of money into it. So now we see Larsa arrive first. Larsa's like, oh, girl, you look 30. Adriana says, yes, honey, some of us age like fine wine. So now Larsa brings up that cake again. She's like, yeah, that math equation on the cake. Do you know who did that? Was that Julia? I felt like that was very insensitive. So Adriana says, I don't know who did that, such a mean thing, but when I find out, they're going to get a piece of my mind. Now, Adriana, if this were anybody else, I'd be in agreement with you that that was insensitive. But Adriana, we have to remember what we said to Marisol episodes ago. And I'm not Marisol's biggest fan, but fair is fair. You went in on Miss Marisol's appearance and her age 8 episodes ago. So, for you to hold on to this anger about who did that math equation on the cake, I don't feel like you have a leg to stand on. Just saying. Just saying, girl. I said, girl, let this go. And Larsa, let the whole thing go, please. Why are we still talking about that? It wasn't that big of a deal. And I'm sorry, when it comes to the Real Housewives, when it comes to really shady things that have been done on the show across all the cities, that was like the least shadiest thing that's ever been done. So for you to try to, draw this whole cake thing out is a little bit much. That was like on a scale from 1 to 10 of super shady things. That was like a cute 2, in my opinion. Just saying. That bony knees comment caught me off guard, but you're right. She needs to let it go. Went after Marisol's knees, calling them old and wrinkly, but if her age is mentioned, she's upset. Exactly. She said she got the wrinkled knees and that she was an old whore. She can't really be mad. Exactly. That's how I feel. Yeah, it's been far worse. It's been said and done on other franchises. This was light work. Exactly. Least shady is to you, but her age is a huge bone of contention for Adriana. Well, if that's the case, then she shouldn't be shaming other people about their age. I mean, again, like, you really, you can't, you should be the last one to talk about age if it's such a bone of contention. Adriana went in on calling Marisol. She called Marisol old in 5 different ways 8 episodes ago. So, I'm just saying, she has to let it go. If she were that sensitive about age, then she wouldn't rag on anybody else about their age. Just saying. Yes, fair is fair. Yeah, exactly. You can't talk about people's age when it triggers you so easily. Exactly. So yeah, I love Adriana, but she has to eat this one. Exactly. So now we have Stephanie. Stephanie arrives. Stephanie's outfit, it was very artsy, very Art Basel-y. I thought it was a cute look. Now, Stephanie, right out the gate, can you just let the girls compliment you? You have Stephanie fishing for a compliment. She's just like, well, compliment my outfit. I said, oh my gosh, girl. I said, you didn't even let them get a chance to compliment your outfit because you asked for it already. I said, my God. So now, but I thought the outfit was cute. So now we have Stephanie saying that she had a great time on the cruise. She feels like they're all getting along, but she doesn't know how she doesn't know where she stands with Marisol. Now, I'm not going to hold y'all. I feel like Stephanie is dragging out this whole Marisol stuff because I forgot all about that. I just said, Stephanie, the time to bring it up was on the cruise, and you and Marisol did talk on the cruise. So we're still going on and on about Marisol. Like, Mike, like, let this go, please. So now we see Alexia and Marisol on their way to the party, and Marisol's asking Alexia how was her Thanksgiving. So Alexia says that, it was nice. She had dinner with the boys and Peter's girlfriend. So, Marisol is messy. She's like, well, did you talk to Todd? So Alexia says, no, but we did talk to his mom and his daughters. Me and Todd saw each other the night before and the night after. Marisol is just like me because I don't have any tolerance when, the girls are with these no good men. Like, I don't want to hear that, okay? Marisol's just like, oh, like, okay. So you have Alexia getting upset. She says, girl, stop. You know that we're seeing each other. I said, Alexia, stop bringing Todd up. Like, I just said, girl, enough. Like, the fact that Alexia is mad at Marisol, and one thing about it, I can always give the girls their 10s. Marisol, I don't really see it for you any other time, but when it comes to how you feel about Todd, you and I are right here because I get it. I'm irritated for you, okay? So basically, they didn't spend Thanksgiving together. No, just a mess. So now Alexia says, I love and respect Marisol, but no matter what she says, it's not going to influence my situation. This is between me and Todd. Now, my thing is this. For the girls who cannot leave their no good men alone, if you want to go back to that cheating man, if you want to go back to that man who does not mean you any good, stop talking to your friends and family about it. If you're going to keep going back to that man, stop talking to us about it. Alexia, you know how Marisol feels about Todd. So why even bring him up? It's like, oh, I cannot stand when girls do that. They want to go here and cry and complain and talk about how their man dogs them out all the time. You tell them, leave that man, you can do better. And now they want to get mad at you. Well, stop talking about him then, because my answer is not changing and I don't want to hear it. It's like, oh my gosh, enough. So now we cut back to the party. We have Julia arrive, and now Alexia and Marisol also arrive at the same time. So mind you, we see Larsa and Stephanie off to the side, and Larsa brings up the cake again. She's like, we need to figure out who wrote that math equation because it felt like a backhanded slap. I said, Larsa, you would think that somebody did this to you on your birthday. Why are you so invested? So now Larsa says, well, let's figure it out. Marisol and Alexia don't exactly love Adriana. Maybe it was them. Then she says, maybe it was Lisa, but I don't know if Lisa can count that high. She says, I don't think it was Gertie. Then she says that Kiki already shaded Adriana on her age, so it wasn't Kiki. So Larsa and Stephanie both think that it might be Julia because Julia was the one who was in charge of the cake. So now we cut to Alexia, and Alexia is talking to Marisol and Julia, and she's telling them how the day after Thanksgiving she went to Lisa's house to have a drink. So she's like, Lisa had 2 Christmas trees, and Jody was telling me that Lisa hired somebody to set the tree up and it cost them $1,000. So you have Julia saying, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Do it yourself. I paid $79 for my tree from Home Depot." So as they're talking about Lisa, Lisa comes up the stairs, and Julia's like, "We were just talking about you. You hired somebody to set up your tree." Now, my thing is this. How Lisa decides to spend her money or Jody's money is nobody's business. Also, that's not uncommon for people to pay somebody to set up their Christmas tree. When I was younger, we used to do that too because it is time consuming. It's a lot, especially if you get a real tree and it's a big tree. It's a lot. So like that's not uncommon. I have a lot of wealthy friends who also they paid for somebody set up their tree too. They went all out for decorations. That's not uncommon for people to hire people to set up their decorations. So like I don't know why they were getting on her about that. And if you don't, listen, I'm not here for all this manual labor. So yeah, I'll pay somebody too. Like I don't know. I felt like that was really weird. They were trying to shame her for that. Like, why do y'all care? And yeah, like Julia was so pressed about it. It's just like, it's weird. Yeah, like I can't stand when people pocket watch. Exactly. Girl, worry about seeing your daughters for Christmas. Exactly. She was real pressed about it. It was giving hater energy. It really was. It really was. It was giving jealous. It was so weird. And I was thinking, now, Alexia, girl, I don't believe for a minute that you set your own tree up either. I'm sure that you pay people, especially when you were married to Todd and Herman. Like, I don't know. I just said this. Why are y'all shaming somebody for doing what y'all have done or still do right now? It was really bizarre. It was, yeah, especially if it's multiple trees. Exactly. Yeah, it's very common to set up trees, lights, decor. Very much so. I was like, is everybody okay? Yet she'll have the boys decorate the tree. Exactly. I'm very. Thank you. Well, I hope you. I'm wishing you a very speedy recovery. A very speedy recovery. I hope you feel better. You better stop. Y'all are so silly. Stop. I want to highlight one of your comments so bad. Y'all, you better stop it. You go look at the comment about Herman setting up the. You better stop it before you get. Y'all trying to get me in trouble on the lives, please, please, y'all. You guys are so funny. So now we cut to Kiki and Gertie. We cut to Kiki and Gertie on their way to the party, and y'all have me screaming. Yeah, y'all see the comment, right? The comment, y'all are in rare form today. So we see Kiki and Gertie on their way to the party, and Kiki's like, "Oh, no," Kiki says, "I had a great time on the cruise." Gertie says, "I did too." So Kiki's like, have you talked to any of the girls? And Gertie says, "Yeah, I've been talking to Adriana. She actually asked me who put the numbers on her cake." So Gertie says, "I don't even know who did it. Do you know who did it?" And Kiki says, "I did it." So when I tell you, they cut to Gertie's confessional, and Gertie had me on the floor. When I tell y'all, Gertie has come such a long way, and I am really enjoying her on the show. She has been hysterical for this season. Gertie's confessional, she was just like, "Oh," and then she ran off. I could not stop laughing. I said, Gertie had me in tears, okay? So Kiki says, "Here's the thing. On the boat, we were all talking about what age would you want to go back to?" And Adriana said she wanted to go back to 32. So now we see the flashback, and Adriana said that she would love to go back to 35. So now we see that Kiki went to Marisol and Alexia on the boat, and she told them her idea. So we see Marisol saying, "Girl, that's on you. We're gonna have popcorn and watch in the background, but that's all on you. Like, you're gonna do that. Have fun with that." So now Kiki says when the cake came out, she wiped it. I felt awful because I didn't want her to think that I was age shaming her. She says next time I won't even get her a cake. I'll get her vibrators instead. And I said that might be a better idea. And that's a gift that keeps on giving. And between Adriana and these fake boyfriends, that really might be the best gift of them all, okay? Hey No Name, thank you for the super chat. Hey No Name, thank you for the super chat again. Hi Brooke, love from Qatar. Thank you for the super. Thank you so much for that. And love when you gathered that social climbing, slimy, and slithering Julia. Child, you know I'm always whack Julia every chance I get, okay? You said that was wrong of Kiki. Kiki, you know you were age shaming her. Just own it. Yeah. I'm like, yeah. I was just like, Kiki, girl, we don't have to sit up here and lie and say, I felt bad. I didn't want her to think I was age shaming her. No, she was being shady. It is what it is. But my thing is this: I need for Kiki to own it, but I also need for Adriana to realize that she was also age shaming Marisol. So it's like, girl, I don't have that much sympathy either when Miss Adriana was also talking at the side of her mouth about somebody else's age too. Just saying. Kiki did not have to leave like that. Yes, Kiki's very calculated. That this whole thing is an act too. I agree. She's far from being the ditzy role that she plays on TV. Yes. Kiki got her back for that ratchet comment. Exactly. And I wish that Kiki would just say that instead of trying to act like she's innocent. So now we get back. So we see Kiki and Gertie arrive. And, the party's going on. We see them talking to the artists. Adriana gives a speech thanking them all for coming. She thanks the artists for coming. Now, mind you, we see Lisa accidentally touch one of his artworks. So they're like, don't touch the art, Lisa. So Lisa's like, you know what, girl? Since I touched it, I'll buy it. Like, I'll take it. That piece is $18,000. I said, I know that's right. I love, and the art piece was really pretty too. He has really nice art. But I was here for it. Lisa said, you know what? It's not a problem. My fingerprints are on it. So I'm going to just buy the piece. I was here for it. I said, I know that's right, girl. So now we go and see, so now mind you, we cut to Marisol and Stephanie going off to the side to talk. Now, this conversation felt like we were going around and around the mulberry bush. They've talked about this now for like several episodes. This has to be the last conversation because it's getting redundant. So they're making small talk. Marisol's asking Stephanie what she did for Thanksgiving. Stephanie says, we went to Canada. Marisol says, we went to the yacht club with, Steve and my stepson, Hunter. She says that the holidays don't hit the same because her parents aren't here anymore. So now Stephanie says, well, family's so important because I don't talk to my sisters, which brings me to my next topic. She says, when I joined this friend group, I thought that I had a connection with you, Marisol, and I don't want to fight with you. So Marisol's confused. She's like, girl, why would we be fighting? We talked about this already on the ship. So Stephanie says, well, that was before I had my talk with Alexia in the mudroom. She was telling me how you were upset because I had lunch with Adriana and how Adriana got to fly on my plane first. So Marisol's like, hold on, girl. I'm not upset about Adriana flying on your plane. I removed myself from that situation and I told you why already. So she goes on to say, I just don't want to hear the cost. I don't want to hear what things cost. I don't want to feel beholden to you or anybody. So Stephanie says, Marisol, it wasn't me talking about money. And we see the flashback where Larsa was the one saying how much Stephanie spent on things. So now Marisol says, look, Stephanie, I want my friendship with you to be pure. Stephanie's like, wait, you don't think that our friendship is pure? And Marisol says, not when you're talking about the price of things. So now Stephanie says, I don't talk about money. So production plays the flashbacks. And I'll say this. Stephanie doesn't outright say how much things cost. I will give her that. But she does make mention to how expensive her things are. It's not quite the same thing, but it's the same thing, but it's not, she's not as, I guess, in your face with it. Like, she'll say, oh my gosh, my Dior, or oh my gosh, my Hermes, or my private plane, but she won't outright say how much it costs. But it's still it's still aggravating, and it's still tacky either way. Right? Yes, it toes the line. Exactly. Exactly. So now you have Marisol saying that she's not trying to be rude, but Stephanie comes across as tacky, and she does not like tacky. Now, Marisol, I think that's real rich coming from you, because you can be very tacky. I'm just saying, Marisol, like, that's not really fair to call Stephanie tacky, because you can also be tacky and gauche and nouveau riche yourself, sis. So, pot, meat, kettle. I'm just saying. Again, I gotta be fair. I'm gonna be, I know I've whacked Stephanie a few good times, but I'm not gonna sit up here and act like she's the tackiest person I've ever seen, because there are a lot of other people who are just as tacky, if not tackier. And I don't think that Marisol's the right person to call somebody else tacky. Just saying. Yes, and I thought I was gonna mention that too. She's in that big Gucci jacket with the logos everywhere. Exactly. I thought that was really rich of her to say that. Very true. So now Stephanie got her lick back. She said, well, if I'm tacky, well, I think it's tacky for you to not even tell the person that you're not going to go on the trip. I think it's tacky for you to send your message through somebody else. Now, I said, Stephanie, you ate with that one, because that was tacky for Marisol to not be the one to tell Stephanie that she wasn't going. She had Alexia send the message. So I said, you got her on that. I know that's right. So now Stephanie goes on to say, and given what Alexia told me in the mudroom, she made it seem like you're the one behind everything that she does. She said that you put the things in her head and she's just the mouthpiece. So now Marisol says she's the furthest thing from a manipulator. She says, you two need to address your own issues. Our issues are between you and I. So then she says that Stephanie's the one who poked the bear, bringing up Todd. So Marisol goes on to say that everybody has amnesia around here. Now, Marisol, anytime somebody gets you in an argument with a good point, you always want to spin it like they're the ones in the wrong. Stephanie got you. Stephanie made a valid point right there about how, are you the one behind all the drama? And two, Miss Girl, you also have your tacky moments as well, not just me. So now Stephanie says, I'm glad that we spoke about this. Hope that we can move forward. And there's nothing tacky about Stephanie Shojai. So I hope that we put this to bed, because I don't want to hear another thing about the private plane and they didn't go and Marisol and I have beef. Like, let's just dead this right now, okay? Yes, Marisol's delusional. Marisol's so quick to deflect and take the attention off of her all the time. So now we cut to Adriana. Now, Adriana, Adriana, I like you and all, but I got to just tap you on the wrist. So we see Adriana introduce us to her stylist named Carol. Adriana says that Carol has been her ride or die. They've been friends for 17 years. Now, Adriana, respectfully, if you've known this woman for 17 years, you guys have been friends for that almost 2 decades, how come we've never seen Carol on any of the seasons prior to this episode? It just kind of felt like, let me dust off the only other Black friend that I have. And you like, it was giving that, because how come I've never seen Carol in all the seasons that you've been on Miami, right? It was giving that very much. Yes, I was just kind of like, okay, so we see each other. You said Adriana needs to be tapped on her forehead. That one Black token friend. Oh, hey, no worries about being late. At least you are in the room, okay? Adriana is like, hey, look at me. I have a Black friend. Carol should have been ashamed of herself. I would have walked away immediately. Okay, yeah, like parading me around, like, no, you're not. You will never parade me around as anybody's token. I don't think so. Yeah, I clocked that too. Carol was rude to that artist. Yeah, that joke that she made when she was talking to the artist, and she said that she hated his artwork. The joke didn't land. It was really awkward. I just said, girl, next time just say that, the art exhibit was nice and keep it at that. Like, she was trying to be funny. It didn't land. It was weird. Her vibe was a bit strange. Her vibe was very strange to me. And I'm glad that you noticed that too. So now, we see Alexia talking to Julia, Marisol, Lisa, and Kiki that she wants to have everybody over at her beauty bar to have like a cute little girls' day. Now, I loved seeing Larsa and Gertie off to the side. Larsa was like low-key straddling Gertie. She's like, do you want another drink, girl? She's having a good old time. And I have to say, Larsa, can we get more of this energy going forward? Because I don't like all this robotic, monotone stuff. Like, give us a livelier version of you. Like, I like seeing you when you're having fun. I thought it was cute seeing you hug Lisa. I said, thank God you and Lisa are getting along right now. But it was nice to see Larsa like letting her hair down and having fun. So now we have Julia go over to Larsa and Lisa, and she says, I love seeing you guys having fun and hugging each other. I miss hugging on Adriana. So now we cut to Kiki over on the other side of the bar. She's talking about the whole cake shade with Gertie and Alexia, and she's saying how she feels bad. So now we cut to Julia, Adriana, Larsa, and Lisa, and they're talking about the cake. So Larsa's like, we have to get to the bottom of who put that math equation on the cake. So now Lisa whispers to Larsa that it was Kiki. So of course, Larsa blurts it out loud. She's like, wait, what? Kiki did it? So now Lisa's like, girl, she just told me, but that's supposed to be between you and I. And I said, now, Lisa, you knew good and damn well that when you whispered that in her ear, Larsa was going to blurt that out. Like, your secret was not safe. So now, Adriana is really upset, and she says, really, Kiki? She says, talk about my art, my music. Don't talk about my age. So now you have Julia trying to defend Kiki, and Larsa's like, no, Julia. She's on Adriana's side. So now Julia's like, well, Adriana, you were low-key age-shaming Marisol on the boat a few weeks ago. You were calling her old. So Adriana says, well, it's different because I'm older than her and we go way back. So here's my thing with that. That's a valid point, right? Adriana and Marisol do go way back. They've known each other for decades. Adriana is older. However, comma, we still have to be fair. If age shaming is not okay, then it shouldn't, then it's not okay if you're the older one age shaming somebody else. You get what I'm saying? I feel like if we're going to be fair across the board, then age shaming should just be a no matter who's older and who's the younger one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Okay, so you don't think that Kiki's comment was age shaming? Oh, about the cake equation? Marisol looks decades older than Adriana, though where Adriana looks way younger, but yeah, we can't have the double standards. This age debacle is wearing me out. She should be grateful to be her age and still healthy and living a full life. That's very true too. That's also a very good point. Like, if we're being very honest, like this should not be that deep. And I kind of feel like as long as you still look good, does it really matter? Adriana is healthy, like you said. She's in her right mind. She's a beautiful life. She's famous. Like, and also, you shouldn't even give anybody that satisfaction that you're upset by that. You know, like, if I'm being honest with you, I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't really care that much. I'm not that invested. And knowing and being a Housewives watcher since the beginning, this shade is so low on the totem pole that I really can't. It's really not that deep. I don't think Kiki was age shaming Adriana. Adriana was just sensitive. Kiki should fight her own battles and stop being Marisol and Alexia's mouthpiece, though. That's a good point too. Oh, wow. I went to a funeral of a 36-year-old mother of two. Oh, my goodness. My condolences. It puts everything in perspective. Growing old is a blessing. That's very true. You said, if I can't say shut your old ass up, then what are we doing and why are we doing it? After that argument they had, Kiki should not have done the cake thing. Yeah. Listen, y'all. Kiki was age shaming Adriana. What is wrong with y'all? Again, I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm not that invested. You know, we've seen worse on Housewives. I feel like they're dragging it at this point, and I don't know why Larsa keeps bringing it up. That's just my 2 cents. So now we have Adriana saying that why is Julia defending Kiki? Julia never has her back. And sorry, she said she's always on her enemy's side. Now, I can't stand that. That is something I cannot stand, when it's like a good friend of yours is always on the opposite side. It's like, girl, like, you must not like me if you're always on the how are you always on the op side? You know what I'm saying? So you said, I don't think Adriana was age shaming Marisol, but I also do not think Kiki was when in Spain. Yeah, I don't fool with folks who fool with my ops. Exactly. Yeah, I kind of feel like, Julia, you've been so opposite Adriana this entire season. If I were you, I would have kept my mouth shut. Like, if you couldn't be on Adriana's side, then maybe just be silent. That was your best bet, because it didn't help you to say anything about, well, you did this. I was just like, girl, Adriana's mad at you. Your friendship has not been the same for a long time. Keep your mouth quiet. So now Julia says that she has Adriana's back all the time at her own expense. And I said, well, that's not true, because we saw how you wanted Stephanie to sit next to you at the baby shower that Adriana planned. We also saw how you even said in your confessional that you weren't going to give up your spot on the plane and sit next to Adriana, sit in commercial. Like, you haven't been that great of a friend to Adriana, girl. So for you to say that you've always had her back to your detriment, that's not really true. So now Adriana says it's not okay to have prejudice. Now, Adriana, I don't know how we went from the whole age stuff to now racism. Like, you lost me here. And Adriana, I'm sorry, but you low-key crashed out and made a fool of yourself in these last 5 minutes, because I was so confused. I said, girl, what is this? So now Adriana goes over to Carol and she's like, Carol, do you think I'm racist? So Carol says, no, who said that? So Adriana says, Kiki. Kiki's telling me that I'm racist. She keeps mentioning my age, all because I use the word ratchet. So Carol says, ratchet is the word for everyone. She says, all your friends are chocolate sisters. I said, they are? Well, how come I've never seen them? So Adriana taps Kiki and she's like, Kiki, you keep calling me racist because I use the word ratchet. Then she's like, Carol has some words for you. The way she was acting like Carol was her guard dog, I didn't like that. First of all, girl, don't involve me in your mess. Fight your own battles. Let's start from the beginning. Adriana, if you want to feel badly about the whole cake and the age shaming, fine. But for you to put words in Kiki's mouth, Kiki never called you racist. You guys made up in Spain. So where are you coming up with this racist stuff? I said, girl, are you drunk? Adriana must have had a few too many before this party because she made no sense. I said, girl, what is going on? I was, and then it's like, come on, Carol, talk to her. Like, come on, here's my black friend and she's going to handle you because you're also black. That's what it gave. Yes, girl, Carol can get chewed up and spit out too because what exactly? I just said that was really wild to me. I said, Adriana, you need to go and see the lady because none of this happened. Nobody called you racist. Now, if you want to be upset about the age shaming, fine, but you're gonna sit up there and lie and say that Kiki said that you were racist. That's not what happened. And to outright lie like that, yes, very. She said, "Speak for me, black girl," and Carol spoke exactly. It's ridiculous. That was very cringe to watch, Adriana. You made yourself look very foolish. You completely lost the plot. How do we go from age shaming to now racism? So now, Kiki's like, I never called you a racist on or off camera. So Adriana's like, yes, you did. So mind you, when I tell you Kiki is just like me in this moment, because baby, one thing about me, I'm not going to ever argue with a fool. And if you ever try me like that and lie on me, I'm going to walk away to preserve my sanity because I'm not going to sit up here and argue with a liar. When Kiki put her drink down and walked down those steps and said, shout out to everybody, I have fun, I was here for it all. Kiki says, I never called Adriana racist. I don't know where she got that from. I don't think anybody in this group is racist. Adriana is losing it. Again, when they show Kiki leaving, we see Kiki cross the street. Now, mind you, Kiki did not even wait for a driver or she didn't wait for an Uber or a Lyft. Kiki sees the Amazon delivery guy and she says, please, I need help. I need to get out of here. Can you please give me a ride home? I don't understand. No, y'all don't understand how hard I was laughing. I was crying. Y'all, I had tears running down my eyes. I had tears running down my y'all. I know you don't understand. I had tears running down my face. I said, girl, what if the Amazon delivery guy kidnaps you? Like, what are you doing? I said, you can't call an Uber. You can't have production give you a ride home. They're in vain. Like, they have vans. They could have taken you home. For her to get in the Amazon delivery truck. I was screaming, honey. I was I was screaming. I said, Kiki. When I tell you that was the funniest moment, I could not stop laughing, y'all. She said she wants a prime delivery home. She did not have to do that. She was escaping. No, honey, when I tell you I was crying, the driver was probably like, am I being pranked? Exactly. I need to know the driver. Honey, she said she was ready to go. I was wondering who she was talking to. And y'all, I really had tears coming down my face because when the next thing you know, you have Julia coming to find her. And Julia's like, oh my gosh, Kiki, where did she go? Where did she go? And you see the van just drive off. I said, Kiki had that Amazon delivery truck doing 90. Y'all, I was in tears. You said, y'all can't make me hate Kiki. I love how she ran out. She had no business doing that. She was having a get out moment. She knew what would happen if she stayed. Exactly. This was pure comedy. You said, Kiki said, deliver me home, please. When I tell you, Kiki, that was the best moment of the episode. I am still not over that. So now we cut back to the group. Adriana is still crashing out. And she's like, Carol, if I use that word to you, would you take that personally? And Carol says, no. I said, now, Carol, I want that same energy if and when Adriana ever calls you ratchet. I want to know how you're really going to feel because you didn't even sound convincing when you said, oh, no, I wouldn't care. I said, I said, all right, Carol, please. So now Larsa says, this is not a good look for Adriana. She's doing way too much. Gertie says, I love you, Adriana, but please say less. So now Adriana is going on and on. She says, well, I care about being called racist, all because I called her wretched, which means miserable. So now you have Julia come back up and she says, guys, when I went downstairs, I was trying to talk to Kiki, but she's gone. So now Adriana is like, why are you protecting her? Why are you defending her instead of me? You're my best friend. What about my feelings? She's calling me a racist, and now I have to have Carol have my back and not you. Now, hold on. Is Julia the op? Yes. Is Julia? We don't see it for Julia. But I have to be fair. Adriana, in this instance right now, what you're saying is not true. We don't have any record of Kiki calling you a racist on or off camera. If Kiki had called you racist, best believe that production would have rolled the tape. They would have rolled the footage. For you to say that, Julia's defending her, calling her racist, that's not true. Because again, we have not heard Kiki say that on or off camera. I feel like your anger right now is misplaced because you're really hurt about that age, about the equation on the cake. If that's it, then just say that. But now we're sitting up here conflating two different issues. You're talking about something that did not happen. That woman did not call you racist. She's telling on herself. She really gave the entire situation the Streisand effect. If she would have just apologized and kept it pushing, it honestly would have blown over. But now I agree. Did you clap Gertie's face and body language during the moment? Yeah, she was so uncomfortable. Didn't think she was racist before, but now I do. Gertie's reaction to all this happening was having me. We don't see it for Julia in that non-existent facelift, but Adriana was doing too much. Exactly. I can always be fair. Unless it was a deleted scene that we missed, Adriana was grasping at straws. I agree. Apparently, in the next episode, the finale, Adriana calls her ratchet for real. Child, I'm screaming. Adriana knows where that ratchet word comes from and what it means. This is apparently why Kiki does not mess with Gertie anymore. Gertie took Adriana's side. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. A hit dog. Right, like no one said that. I would put other cast members ahead of Adriana as being racist. Listen, all I'm saying is Adriana, I'm not saying that Adriana is racist, but what I am saying is that Adriana is grasping at straws, and I believe that she had too much to drink because I'm not understanding where this whole thing came from. So now, Adriana goes on to say that, Julia says the problem with Adriana is she feels like everybody has bad intentions. And then we cut to Adriana saying that Kiki's trying to get her in trouble and get her canceled. Adriana, respectfully, we have yet to see Kiki try to cancel you. None of us heard Kiki say that you were racist. Again, I don't know if you had too much to drink, but whatever's going on up here, I think that it's all made up in your mind. You crashed out about nothing. You crashed out and spiraled for no reason because nobody calls you racist. Also, Adriana, I'm confused. Your issue was about the whole age shaming, the equation on the cake. How do we go from that to now being called a racist? Like, is anybody else confused as to how we got from A to Z? You know what I'm saying? You said Adriana made this up in her head. I agree. It's weird. You said, who said that? Exactly. It's just very bizarre. So now we end the episode with Adriana saying that Carol, who's been my friend for a longer time than you, knows who I am. And now we see Julia saying, this is what I've been warned about. People warned me for years and I refuse to listen. So now we see Adriana leave her own party, and that's the end of the episode. And then we see the trailer for the next episode, and the next episode is the finale. When I tell y'all, I am ready for this season to be wrapped up. I'm looking forward to the reunion. Now, does anybody else feel like the whole bombshell might be about Adriana having some footage of Kiki calling her a racist? Like, I don't know what this whole bombshell is. Alexia told me that Adriana is a part of this whole bombshell revelation. So maybe it's that. Adriana, if Kiki did call you a racist and we didn't hear it, I will apologize to you. But as of right now, I didn't hear Kiki call you a racist. Y'all made up in Spain. So this whole thing about being called a racist is it's not adding up to me. The math ain't mathing. Yeah, I hope that the bombshell's not a dud either. Yep, this coming episode this Thursday is the finale episode. Fans will take the ratchet comment and flip it that she's racist. I think that's what she was afraid of. And I mean, okay, I understand she's afraid of that, but for her to sit up there and say that somebody called her a racist when we didn't hear her call her a racist, I was riding with Adriana until she made herself a victim. I think when they were at the dinner, somebody did say, "You don't call black women ratchet," and it went from there in her mind. Okay, well, that's fair, but still, though, for her to say that somebody called her a racist, that's still a stretch, you know? And then also, if they already made up, I thought that we were past that whole thing. The only thing I thought they were mad about, well, I thought Adriana was still mad about, was the whole cake. I thought we had moved on from the whole wretched thing. For us to even bring it back, I'm like, my goodness. I remember Adriana making a comment on Julia's real identity in Watch What Happens Live. But if they made up why the cake thing, no, listen, Kiki claims that it was just a joke. I don't know. All I'm going to say is I can't wait for the reunion. I hope that we get this sorted out because I'm tired. You think a producer planted that. Okay. I really do think that Adriana is depressed. Well, the way she was acting, I think so too. Hey, No Name, thank you for the super chat. Adriana bringing her friend to vouch for her when Kiki didn't even accuse her of being a racist is either unintentional confession or legitimate fear of cancellation. It's one of the two. It's something. It's a whole mess box that I'm ready to see get open. I feel like a lot will unfold this reunion. That's a big stretch unless they cut that part out during editing. Maybe having a midlife crisis of sorts. Yes, it's definitely a stretch. I'm just trying to find a little reasoning. There is none. Larsa was trying to put a bug in Adriana's mind, forcing the issue of the cake. Yes, I feel like, because I was surprised that we were even talking about the cake again. I thought that Larsa was doing a lot talking about it at the party. Hey, Brooke, let's go live on the next SLC. I'm over Miami. Okay, yes. And for SLC, the next SLC recap, though, we're going to have a talk. We'll talk about it when SLC comes on. I got you. Because, child, we're going to talk about SLC, honey. Because, listen, y'all, I'm not going through nonsense for this season. But we'll talk about that when the time comes. But yeah, I think that I'll probably do it live for SLC because that will be fun. Adriana is Delulu. She believes everybody is a hater. The cake thing would have really annoyed me. Yeah, I know you because you've been talking about it during the whole live. I can tell that it would have annoyed you. I can tell that it would have annoyed you. Yeah, I gotta honk the horn on them again, child. They sure were. I said, we're not doing this. We're not doing this this season. I'm not doing it. So we're gonna have to have a talk before we gotta have to have a talk, y'all. Because you saw my post on the community tab. You saw what I had to say. I said, Mike, like, what is going on? We're just here to have some fun. Again, y'all, it is never that deep. This is just a show. We are here to comment on it, have a few laughs, and call it a day. That's it, and that's all. And when I tell you the story for Potomac, when Potomac comes back on, you guys are going to really see that I am no longer invested in any of these shows, and it is not that deep, okay? No, I wasn't being shady. I saw that you had a very strong reaction in the live comments. You made your comments known that you would have been upset, and I hear you. I read your comments. I'm just saying, I'm letting you know that, yes, I saw that you would have been upset had that cake been presented to you. That's all I'm saying. Think about it though, if you comment a lot, I'm going to read it. I can tell when somebody is, annoyed or whatever by my commentary or what, you know what I'm saying? So yes, I'm just co-signing that. Yes, I can tell that if you did get that cake, you would have been upset. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Ciao. Do you guys want me to do the OC recap? Let me know. Let me know. Are we still feeling OC? Yes, and I'm not annoyed with you either. I'm not. I saw somebody being shady. Again, guys, please don't be shady in the live either. Please don't say that I'm whacking somebody. You'll know when I'm whacking somebody. It's all good. I wasn't annoyed with you either. I was just co-signing on what you said. That yes, I could see it in the live that you had a reaction to the whole cake thing. That's all it is. It's not that deep. I'm not going back and forth with, I'm not going back and forth with nobody. So it is what it is. I hope you enjoyed the live. You can just give bullet points on OC. Okay, no thanks on OC, but thanks for asking though. Last week's OC was kind of whack. All right, so it's kind of mixed reaction. Oh, you don't want to leave OC alone. Had to force myself to finish OC. So like they don't have ladies Real Houses of London on Peacock. Like, how do I watch Ladies of London? Not Ladies of London, Real Houses of London. I saw like a few minutes of the episode. They have clips on social media, but do I have to get Hey You? Is Hey You available for the US? Child, I'm just like, my goodness, like it's like, oh, like you be like, child, we just talking, we just having some fun. And again, now this is for everybody. This is for everybody. If I see your comments in the live, expect me to, I might pick on your comment and I might say something. Okay, so don't be looking at me funny if you say something and I respond back to it. Just saying. If you post it online, if you post it here in the chat, there's a chance that I might see it and I will respond. All right. I do want to see London. Okay, do have a VPN? It's a time. Okay, listen, I guess I'll get a VPN and I can see and I'll watch London. You said so. Don't be. Yeah, because think about it. Levette, if you in here, girl, it's all love. But when Levette was like, well, girl, can you please get on topic? And then she even, when I said to her, I said, oh, damn, Levette. And then Levette wrote back, she wrote, I didn't think you were going to see my comment. So that's my thing. If you bold enough to say what you say in the live, then you got to be ready for me to, if I say something back, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know me. Y'all know me, y'all. You know what I'm saying? No, Levette she was very sweet. But she wrote, Levette, if you're watching this, you did right. I didn't think she was gonna see that. Because a lot of y'all, some of y'all be getting smart with me. You think I don't see that, and then I see it, and then I highlight your comment, and I'll say something. And now I'm the bad guy. So I'm just saying. If you commenting up and down that live, and I see it, and I say something back, like, okay, you obviously have a reaction, or you whatever, I'm just saying. I mean, I got two eyes. I got one eye in the camera, and I got one eye right here. No, but it's all love, y'all. It's all love. No, Levette, if you are watching, that was one of my favorite lives ever. Levette was like, girl, hurry up, like, enough, like, chop. Oh gosh. Listen, yeah, Levette, if you're in here though, please just know that I laughed about that all day. Okay. Yes, very much so. It's like, okay, like, get to work, honey, get to work. And you know what's so funny? Yes, Levette was like Frankie with Marisol. Yes, when Frankie was like, Marisol, no. Levette, if you're in here, holla at me, okay? But no, we had a good old time, honey. Levette was like, girl, chop. Enough with all this talking. Get to the damn recap. Lavette said, I got places to go, people to see. Oh my gosh. But yes, we always have a good old time here. At this point, Lavette needs to be featured, a full circle moment. Yes, honey. Yes, Lavette put me in check, honey. I was just like, well, damn. I said, well, damn. I said, you see how people do you? Listen, honey, she said, chop, chop, girl. Like, okay, that was cute, but she said, let's skip the sidebars. Let's skip, you know. But yeah, I have to say, I'm ready for Miami to be over. It's been a cute season. And I'll say this though. I really hope that we don't spend a good chunk of this reunion talking about the whole cake and age shaming. I really hope that we don't spend all that time on that. I think that should be a blip on the screen. It was not that deep, but still be going on and on and on about it. I hope that we don't spend 30 minutes on that. I really hope that we really talk about, I really want them to focus on Stephanie and the sisters. I want to talk about the rumors about Stephanie, I guess, in the house. You know what I'm saying? I hope that we talk more about Julia and Gertie. That is the most pressing thing. Let's talk about that. I don't want them to spend too much time on Lisa and Larsa's beef. Let's talk about the good stuff. Yes, I want Julia to get her lashings. Exactly. I think it has to, the bomb gets dropped at the reunion. I think it has to do with Kiki since she blocked Gertie. Oh, they're saying that it has to do with Adriana. So I heard Julia gets dragged as well, and no private plane etiquette or whatever that was. Oh, I love it. Come through. Oh, I love Italy. Oh, I love Italy. Larsa and Lisa get 2 minutes and no more than that. I agree. This community be having me in tears and unable to breathe a lot of the time. Well, thank you. No, I appreciate that. We have a good time. We have a good old time here. We really do. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Girl, OC is so bad. You don't have to recap unless you want to pre-record it. Okay, this is good to know. Stephanie has first seat, so the private jet might be a chunk of the reunion. Yeah, you might be right. And they're saying that Alexia told me at the party that it's going to be 3 parts. It's going to be three parts. I mean, I don't feel that Miami had 3 parts worth of stuff to rehash. I think that 2 parts would have sufficed because the main topic that I want to talk about is Julia and Gertie. Kiki versus Gertie, want to talk about that. A little bit of the Adriana stuff, but yeah, for the most part, they don't. I don't want to hear Alexia go on and on about her and Todd. To be honest, I don't know. I feel like, and because they filmed the reunion so early, we don't even get the whole thing about Todd and the lawsuit. You know, I don't know if we need. Yeah, they didn't need 3 parts. I agree. Miami needs 2 parts max. Time for Julia to get her farewell reunion package too. Let's wrap her story up and get her gone. They don't have enough content for 3 parts. This means 1 part will solely be about that damn jet. I can see that. I wonder if the 3-part reunions are a contract obligation. Ugh, it might be. It might be because I'm confused because think about it. This with Atlanta, right? With Britt Edie quitting, we did not need 2 parts. When Andy found out that Britt Edie did not show up, when they decided not to have Kenya back, there was no need for 3 parts. That Atlanta reunion was pretty sorry. The only good part we got was when the husbands came out and Charles Oakley pretty much saved the reunion. But yeah, we didn't get a whole lot. I feel like it might be a contract obligation. It really might be because a lot of these reunions don't require 3 parts worth. It's going to be getting is going to be getting, wait, I skipped over a comment that I wanted to read. Apologies if I was trying to read the next comment. Somebody said the private plane etiquette better not be there. How Stephanie dresses is against plane etiquette. I hope Andy doesn't brush over Julia and Gertie at the reunion. I'm praying that that's not the case. I asked Alexia about that. I was like, what can you tell me? She said that they do cover it. So fingers crossed that they don't edit it down to nothing. So I'm prayerful that they give us at least 15 minutes of Julia and Gertie. And I'm praying that that is in the first part. And I'm praying they don't make us wait until the last part to get that. But Bravo, please do the right thing. Please, please show us the majority of that conversation between Julia and Gertie, because Alexia says that they did talk about it at length at the reunion. So I'm prayerful that we don't get that chopped down. It's going to be them getting on Lisa about her tardiness. Oh, I really hope not. Yes, is it annoying? Yes, but it's not that interesting for us to talk about, you know? Okay, I need to get a VPN and a Hey You subscription, and I'll get into it. It looks really good. These days, all the reunions are 3 parts. I know they need to stop doing that. They need to discuss the icing out of Lisa, Gertie, and Adriana. It would be worse if they had 4 parts. I'm not trying. Listen, I don't want to start nothing because I don't want to start anything, child. I don't want to start anything, but yeah, no, I don't want to hear. Personally, for me, I don't want to speak for everybody. You know what I'm about to say. I don't want to start nothing. But yeah, I personally, for me, I don't want to hear Adriana crying about her age either for 20 minutes at this reunion. I don't want to hear about that damn cake either. I know some of y'all felt strongly about that cake. But over here, that cake, I don't want to hear about it. They better spend 2 minutes on that cake. They better spend 2 minutes on that cake. Please, y'all. It wasn't. Listen, y'all. I'm like, please. I don't want. I can't. I can't. I do not want to spend all that time on that cake. I don't. I hope they don't spend all day and night with that. Okay. They need to focus solely on Julia and Gertie, Stephanie and her sisters, Stephanie and the rumors about the money and the house and the jet. That's pretty much all I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about anything. I mean, I want Andy to press Marisol on how she treated Gertie. I hope that Andy presses Marisol about that comment that she made when she lied on Gertie, saying that Gertie gave her that regifted drink maker from Amazon. I really hope and pray that they touch on that, because that was really nasty work for Marisol to lie on her. And Gertie had the receipts and said, no, I paid for this. This is from me. I used my Amex. I paid $350 for the gift. It was not, I'm praying that Andy presses Marisol, because Marisol was nasty to Gertie. I really hope that they get on. I hope they get on all of them for how they treated Gertie. I really do. Going for it for all franchises. Andy hosts part 1 and 2 of the reunion, and part 3 give the job to Brooke. I'm screaming. Thank you. Yeah, Marisol was really nasty. Though I mean, that was really nasty for her to do that. You think that Marisol is secretly prejudiced? I wouldn't be surprised. I need Stephanie's sisters to come and expose her at the reunion. Well, I just want Stephanie to get into why they don't speak. I just feel like we're not hearing the full story. Please review the reunion looks. I don't have that much to say. I think that I think that my favorites, I think Elisa looked beautiful. Gertie looked pretty. I didn't love the dress on Gertie, but well, no, the dress looked good on Gertie. It just felt like it didn't give me like that wow. You know what I'm saying? But Gertie looks pretty. But my favorites though, Lisa, Alexia, Kiki. Somebody said gave very much Marlo Hampton because Marlo wore that similar dress for one of her reunions. Who did I say? I thought Adriana looked amazing. I'm forgetting somebody else, but yeah, I think that Stephanie's outfit. Now, Stephanie showed her second look. Stephanie, you should have went with that second look because the look that you chose. Yeah, Gertie's dress was basic. I agree. They should bring Dr. Nicole on for a segment so she can talk about who hired the private investigator to follow her. Oh, yeah, they should talk about that. Well, they'll probably talk about that when Dr. Nicole comes back onto the show. Yeah, I did not like Stephanie's second look that she posted. I'm like, Stephanie, why didn't your team tell you to go with that second look? The second look looked so good. You said Stephanie looked like the Riddler. I mean, well, it wasn't it. Well, listen, it was it in comparison to the first look. I would prefer the second look over the first look any day. Wait, is everybody okay? Why are we going? Why do I see some of y'all fighting about what? What are we fighting about, y'all? I know we're not still going on and listen, y'all, I'm not gonna listen. Please, y'all, this is a peaceful place. If it's still about the age shaming and the cake comment stuff, please, y'all, it's not that deep for y'all to be going back and forth. I love y'all down, but y'all can't be bringing no bad vibes to my chat. Please, y'all. Like, I see y'all going back and forth. I'm trying not to address it. I'm like, please, y'all. We are here to have a good time. Take that mess somewhere else. You're not going to shade me, and you're damn sure not going to shade each other, okay? So please, y'all, we are here to have fun. A damn cake with an equation should not cause all this, please. Please, y'all, please. Yes, honey. Please, y'all. Marisol also unfollowed Gertie. I'm like, why? Yeah, Marisol does not have a leg to stand on. Why is she doing that? Like, why is Marisol mad at Gertie? Well, I'm guessing that maybe Gertie probably chewed Marisol up at this reunion. Yes, honey. Now, Levette, we need you, Levette. Levette, I need you. I need you. Because I need you, Levette. Levette, where are you? Yes, this is a civilized dinner in here, okay? Child. Oh my goodness gracious. Listen, yes, regroup and refocus, please, y'all. I was preaching earlier, giving folks a good word. And honey, when it came to that whole cake, in my opinion about the cake not being that deep, that's when all hell broke loose. Please. Enough. So they all, oh yeah, because Larsa unfollowed Gertie. There is no concerted effort to get rid of her, really. From preaching to boxing. Levette, see how the girls do when you're not here. Exactly, honey. At this point, give Levette first chair to keep them in check, okay? My goodness, y'all. Please, y'all. If it makes you feel better, if they bring up the cake at the reunion, I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm not even going to mention it. I'm going to be like, cake? What cake? Never saw it. This is a rare for Monday, honey, but they take it to the extreme. I'm telling you. Wait, they all unfollowed her. I'm so confused. I'm confused too. I don't know why they all unfollowed her. Gertie must have gotten them together at that reunion and they all feel embarrassed and ashamed because I'm confused as to why they are upset. Jesus. How does someone get assaulted? Thank you. How does someone get assaulted and they are the one unfollowed? I don't understand it. That's how I know I'll bet money that Gertie probably clocked them at that reunion because I'm confused. They don't have a leg to stand on. They don't. No, Gertie should be the one unfollowing them. I think Alexia still follows Gertie though. And Alexia told me that her and Gertie are still like this. Oh, Marisol took Julia's side publicly? What? I sure am. I was like, never had any. I never even heard of cake. What's cake? Never, what's age? I don't even know what age means. What does age mean? Like, I don't even know what that means. Like, what does that mean? I don't even know how to do math. Like, what is that? Like, wait, what? Like, what are numbers? I don't know any of that. Never heard of a cake, never heard of age shaming, never heard of age. I don't even know how old I am. Like, that's going to be my new answer going forward. Okay, good. Reddit claims that Gertie was activated this reunion. She was getting her lick back. Okay, good. I'm very happy to hear this. Very happy to hear this. Whatever did happen, I think Gertie got them bad because remember Kiki's weird press tour. Yeah, Kiki made no sense on Carlos King's channel. Kiki made no sense. I'm glad to hear that. I'm very happy to hear that Gertie got that. I'm so happy to hear it. You said keeping my expectations low because none of us can name a reunion in recent memory that satisfied any of the fandoms. You know, that's a good point. Is it harder for you to be tough on these girls now that you're starting to get to know them in real life? That's a great question. I'll say, you know what? I'll say this. I wouldn't say it's tough, but the waters do get a bit murky. And it gets a little bit, I guess it does get a little bit tough, especially when you see such a sweet side of them in person. It can be a little bit tough because you're like, well, no, they're so sweet in person. And, they're telling you background tea of, well, no, actually, you didn't see what really happened because, she actually said this to me and you didn't see that. And that's what so like when you hear the background details and when you hear, but Brooke, haven't you known some of them for years? I mean, no, yes, I have. I wouldn't say that it's tough. I would just say that some of them, especially if I already did like them before I met them, right? It could be like, oh, like, they're so sweet. Like, let me say this, right? Lisa Barlow, oh my gosh, in person, she is such a gem, right? Now, I will still get on Lisa if she tries it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we just hold on. Now I know you were in the live show streaming, so you know the story. We gonna talk. And there's another side of that too, where when you know some of that, when they show out, it can go the other way too, where you're gonna really get on them because you can't. You get where I'm going with that. So, honey, listen, we gonna talk. Yes, no, I said that in my recap. SLC, they are very sweet. I have to say, Mary, and Heather watches my channel, and I've been super hard on Heather since day one. Heather always embraces me with open arms every time I see her. I have to say, that is Whitney, and y'all know I get on Whitney. Whitney's always sweet to me. I have to say, out of all of the franchises, SLC gets number one for the sweetest cast on Bravo. Hands down. Hands down. Hands down. Baby. Hands down. Okay? SLC, they get a 10 out of 10 for me. Y'all will find out the story in due time. Yeah, SLC is really good. You said I'm Heather's therapist. I'm screaming. You said you not surprised, child. We need this tea. Don't leave us hanging. Well, you'll hear about it when Potomac premieres. What, October 5th? You'll hear about it. You said Brooke said SOC, come get your baddie chain, child. Yes, SOC is very aware that this is a job too, which makes them better at it. Exactly. Child, 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 child. Child, you'll find out in due time. You will find out in less than 2 weeks. It's good that they don't take it personal, your opinion. Yeah, and because several of them have said, because they don't get me, listen, y'all, they watch, like, do not ever think they don't watch. They watch everybody, right? So they've always, a lot of them have said to me, like, even when you're tough on me, I respect that you've never, come after me. Like, you've never heard me call anybody out their name. None of that. None of that. Did you sign an NDA, Brooke? No, I didn't sign an NDA. Mm-mm. You said you're glad that it won't be Monique getting it from you for once. I'm screaming. Y'all really ain't patient. No, guys, I got you. I will tell you the story. I will tell you. Didn't miss anything. I will tell you the story. I heard it at the live show, waiting to answer my question about Karen. Is next week good? Yes, very respectful. Listen, y'all, at the end of the day, I'll just say this. You can't get too invested in these shows. Like, please don't. It is not, you just, so Kiki must be well aware that we view her father as a deadbeat, and he did not endear ourselves to our heart like Nicole's father eventually did. Not the same Kiki. Well, yeah, I mean, she watches, they listen, they all watch, y'all. They all watch. They all watch the content creators. Yeah, I've told them, like, even the ones that, like, that I've been hard on, like, I've said, like, you have to realize, and let me say this one last time. I don't hate anybody. Like, even the Potomac girls, who I have, might have called colorist or whatever, right? I'm basing what I'm seeing for 44 minutes. If you're showing certain behaviors, I'm going to comment on that, right? I think we all are. I'm not, trying, I know people so well where, you know what I'm saying? But I don't have hate in my heart for anybody. Yeah, they're in the chat probably now. Exactly. Child, we'll talk about everything when October 5th comes around. We will talk about everything. I promise you. It's very true. And people forget that every show needs a villain. You kind of need people to dislike in these shows. Otherwise, it would be a snooze fest. No, that's very true. Yes. At the end of the day, I'm not thinking about any of these. When I turn this camera off, when the camera clicks off, when the video is up, when the live is over, I'm not thinking about Gina or Monique or Emily or Tamra or Giselle or nobody. It's no hate. I'm just simply talking about the show. Do I get worked up? Yes. But I'm telling you right now, though, those days are long gone of me getting worked up about anybody. So that means that your faves, who I could not stand, they get a clean slate for me, because I'm not getting, those days are over, honey. And you'll know the story soon enough. But yeah, those, you can't catch me, Mm-mm. Yes. I try not to ever, be, and even when I tell this story that I'm going to be telling to you all, it's not going to be anything like, you know what I'm saying? No, but yeah, you have to have boundaries. It's not, and also you can't go so hard and then expect to be around them. You know what I'm saying? You can't. That's why I'm able to be around all of them. I've been around Giselle. I've been around Robin. I when I met them, I took a picture with them after their Potomac panel. You know what I'm saying? You can only say so much before you can't be around any of them. That's why I'm invited to all the Bravo events, because there's boundaries. I'm not ever going to call somebody out their name, or or talk about them, or wish ill on them. No, no. And if you're gonna do this, you have to learn that there's kitchen table talk. Shout out to Kempire. There's kitchen table talk, and then there's talk for the camera. And you can't say everything that you want to say on camera, especially if you want to be around the people, So, yeah, it's true. Yeah, you don't, and I think that, and that's another thing, like in my personal life, people think that because I do this, I want to talk about this 24/7. I'm like, I don't want to talk about this. Like, I want to, like, it's people think you want to talk about it. It's true. Wendy Williams said it best. After she leaves the show, she does not think or care about these celebrities, nor does she want to discuss them with her friends. Yeah, that's how I feel. You are so funny. Listen, I'll say this. It is what it is. Oh, it is what it is. Okay. Yes, gotta keep some talk in the home only. Exactly. I remember I used to go in season 5, but I still didn't go in as hard as I could have gone in. I still never wished ill on people. I mean, yeah, season 5 was a lot with Monique, and I mean that was aggravating, but I still never went as far as I could have gone, as some other people went. I still never called Monique out of her name. I never called Monique out of her name despite season 5 and me being so staunchly against her, You said, well, I'll be tuned in for Black Night. Season 5, when everything went downhill. Oh, wow. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, they do feel like they go by quickly. Yeah, I always keep it respectful. Yeah, always, always, always. And I mean, even some housewives, I mean, I've told you guys, even, housewives that I've been really hard on, they've given me my props on how I've been respectful. Mia was like flat out, like, I think you're so hard on me. This was season 7 when she assaulted Wendy, and she was like, she said, Queen, you're so hard on me. And I said, well, Mia, I mean, come on, you assaulted somebody and didn't show any remorse. Like, come on, like, of course. And then she's like, I respect that. I respect your opinion. Keep doing what you're doing. And so, you're beautiful. And, I mean, Mia was lovely in person. I will not take that away from her. Mia, as much as I've gotten on her, Mia is very lovely. Mia is very lovely. Yes. Listen, the housewives have got to understand they agreed to be on a TV show and show their lives. Yeah, people are allowed to have opinions. Exactly. And I'm always respectful with it. Yeah, it's never, oh yeah, I've never done that, never will. Yes, exactly. You keep it real, but you never make it gutter. That's why sometimes no, I mean, you lost me there, Brooke, lying Mia. I know, no, but I have to say, Mia is very lovely in person. Like, she's very lovely. She is nice in person. Yeah, she lied about that. She never apologized. I agree. Some of the worst casting in history. I think that I'm not gonna. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to like ruin the story. But I guess I'll say this though. You know what? I'm not going to say, because if I say it, it's going to give away the story. So I'll just wait and tell you when Potomac comes on. Okay. All right. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. I try my best. Thank you. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna hold on to it. Listen, you guys, it's less than 2 weeks away. Like I got you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Ashley is Ashley Darby. I've said that several times. Ashley is a perfect example to Ashley's a perfect example of a housewife who really separates her life from the show. She is someone who can really take a lick and keep on ticking. If that's the saying, take a licking and keep on ticking. Because every time I've seen Ashley, she has embraced me with a lot of love. When I tell y'all, Ashley is somebody where Ashley and Giselle have it right, where they don't care what you're talking. They don't care if you're talking good or bad about them, as long as you are talking. Those are two housewives who I feel, if they could teach a master class, I can always no. Sometimes you have to, no, you got to give people their credit. I can always give the girls their credit when it's due. Out of Ashley and Giselle are two housewives who do not mind playing the villain, and they do not mind if you talk badly about them. Again, I've met them, I've seen them in person, right? Ashley's one of those people. Ashley and Giselle are two people where they would rather you talk about them than not talk about them at all. Yes, Ashley understands that it's a job. Absolutely. Ashley understands that it's a job. Like, she understands that it is she understands that she's here to get her check. Thank you so much. Thank you. Ashley's another charade in terms of not capitalizing on Real Housewives opportunities. Ashley should have had at least 2 yoga studios up and running by now. Yeah, I agree. I think that Ashley doesn't know what direction to go in. Ashley needs to get a new management team. If I had to make a suggestion, I think she needs to get a new management team, because she should have a yoga studio or something up like that. I'll give Ashley her flowers, because the way she let that gremlin play in her face on national TV. Very true. Ashley literally found her dream job. She enjoys the drama. I've never seen her stressed on the show ever. Exactly. Oh, I agree. I agree with you about the two of them, but I think they push it beyond normal lines. Oh, no, absolutely. They do push it. They do push it beyond normal lines. Oh, I agree with that. They'll do or say anything. There are no boundaries. Oh, absolutely. But I'm saying that if you're going to be the type to push boundaries and push things beyond a normal line, you have to have that sort of thick skin to not be able to be upset when folks call you out. You get what I'm saying? My homegirl taught Ashley yoga in a scene from one of the older seasons, but they never showed it. Oh, wow. That's a really good point. That's very true. Ashley needs to tour as her. No, she in person. Ashley's. No, I'm not gonna listen. I've never lied on a housewife. I've never. And think about this. All the stories that I ever told you about a housewife, no housewife has ever said that I'm not telling the truth. I've never fibbed about a housewife. Every story that I've told you about a housewife, nobody can say that I've ever fibbed or lied or made anything up. Whatever I'm telling you all the truth. And I've met Ashley several times, and Ashley is in person lovely. I will never lie on one of these women. Yes, I agree. It's why Sai flopped in the second season on the Roni reboot. She couldn't handle the criticism. Yep, exactly. It's very true. Oh, that's true. I don't think that Ashley wants to start a business. She seems comfortable in her housewife role. Not everybody wants to be a business mogul. That's true too. I think ruining marriages and talking about folks' kids is crazy and having your friends assault somebody. No, I do. I do. Listen, no, no, no. I'm not co-signing what they're doing. I'm not co-signing that. All I'm saying is for people like, people who are want to be the villain, a lot of villains on these shows have thin skin. They can't take the heat. What I'm saying is these women are villainous on the show, but they really don't care about what folks have to say about it. That's all I'm trying to say. But no, I don't agree with any of what they've done. I stand by that. Oh yeah, I've seen Andy, met him several times. If you go on my Instagram, I've posted about it. I interviewed Andy on the red carpet. I got to interview the whole cast of the Roni reboot at the Rainbow Room here in New York, and I got to interview Andy on the red carpet. So that was really fun. Yeah, I've met Andy several times. I saw him in LA at the Las Culturistas award show at the after party. Yeah, I saw that. They did not renew Bryn and Uba. They're saying that June Ambrose is going to be one of the new cast members, and they're also saying that what's her name? Kevin Lyles, he's the famous music producer. His wife Erica Lyles, his ex-wife. They're divorced now, but his ex-wife is allegedly in the running for Roni. And I think that will be a fabulous addition. She's beautiful, got a nice divorce settlement. And that's Giselle's line sister. Erica was on the third season of Potomac. Remember that? She was the friend. And Giselle was like, oh, I used to haze you back in college. Yeah. So if Erica is a new housewife, that will be interesting. What do you think is going to happen to Roni, though? Do you think it'll work? I don't know. I think, I mean, if they're keeping they're keeping Sai, what's her name? Sai, Erin, Jenna, and Erin. Allegedly, they're keeping them. No, they're keeping Jessel, Sai, Erin, and Jenna, allegedly. And then they're getting June Ambrose, allegedly, and Erica Lyles, allegedly, and then two other newbies. Maybe it might work, but but I think that they're going to need, Jenna's going to have to share more of her life. She's going to have to share her fiance if she's going to stay on the show, because Jenna brings nothing. Honestly, I only care for Jessel. I wish Roni was about a group of friends like it used to be. Yeah, Erica Lyles. Yep, Ray's crush. Yep. Coming in late as hell for my sleep. Glad you're still live. Yeah, we're at the tail end. You said Ray's dream girl, Erica Lyles, and their two girls. Yep. Yeah, she was in Architectural Digest too a few months ago. I do think the colorism comments did bother Giselle in her public interactions. Yeah, they did, because I do think that she was hurt when Essence Magazine came out with that article bashing her and Robin and Ashley and Mia about the treatment. But yes, yeah, overall I agree that she doesn't care. But yeah, I do think that the colorism comments did hurt her and Ashley. You said, I don't want to see boring Jenna. She's not needed. Hey, front of the line. Thank you for the super chat. Brooke, would you consider joining the cast of Roni? You would be great. I'm scared. They haven't asked me. I mean, maybe I would consider it, but I'm like, listen, y'all. I'm like, do I have what it takes for folks to be, having YouTube videos on me, talking about me? Because you would be seeing a different side of me. So it makes you think like, well, damn, like, folks will be talking about me now. Thank you for the super chat. Oh my gosh. You said we would stand, honey, until you rip me apart because I said something. Oh gosh. Yeah, no, I do love my privacy. Like as much as you know, I listen, I think you guys know. I mean, obviously you put yourself on the public platform. You know, when I was a little kid, I always want to be famous and all that stuff. But then as I'm like, you think about it, you're like, well, I still want to be famous, but it's like I to be on Housewives though, it's like you're really opening up a lot of your life. Like I control what you all see, right? But like I have to really talk about and show you guys certain stuff that I wouldn't want to, like I don't know. When I think about that, like I don't know. They'd had to pay really well for me to consider. Yeah, I'm not thirsty, but it's like, but but the fame and you know what I'm saying? I'd have to think about it. Oh gosh. You would be great on Summer House Martha's Vineyard or Next Gen NYC. Oh, thank you. Well, Summer House Martha's Vineyard is not coming back. I spilled that tea in a few recaps ago, but yeah, they're not coming back. When I was at the SLC event, what was that, 2 weeks ago? When I was at the SLC event, they had like a cute question and answer, and the host works at NBC. And so Bravo, right? And so a woman said, "Oh, my controversial opinion is that you guys should have never canceled Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Can you please bring them back?" And the host was just like, "You can catch Summer House Martha's Vineyard on Peacock seasons 1 and 2. Like, next question." So yeah, they're not coming back. Okay. I have some additional, see, you know what I'm saying? I have a little bit more tea too about Summer House Martha's Vineyard, but yeah, they're not coming back, child. A mess. I'm sorry to repeat my question, but I'm curious, will Carol Radziwill come back? She's coming to BravoCon. She might be coming back. The fact that she's back in Bravo's good graces, she could be coming back. They never had fun, so it makes sense. Yeah, and I saw that one of the I forgot her name, one of the cast members, Jordan, she was at an event, and I saw the clip made some rounds, but they asked her how does she feel about why Summer House Martha's Vineyard got canceled, and she was like, well, look at the state of the world, like, black people, like something about how black people always get the short end of the stick. And, while there's truth in that statement, I kind of feel like she's being a bit disingenuous because she was a big part of the reason why the show was canceled. People were tired of her always crying and being in a really bad mood. People didn't like the whole gang up on Jasmine. That really tanked the ratings. And I think that there's not really ownership. It's easy to blame it on racism and the powers that be. Like, yes, that is a factor of black shows don't get chance after chance. I'm not denying that. However, we're not going to sit here and act like a lot of the cast members did not play a part in the demise of the show. Nobody wanted to see a group of people on vacation crying and wailing about everything. I mean, you had Jordan crying about stuff. You had what was her name? Summer was always crying about stuff. They're accusing this one of that. This one brings his non-black girlfriend on the show, and she's lying on somebody. Like, nobody wants to watch. Then we see the majority of the cast trying to ice out the leader of the group who brought them all on the show. Nobody wants to see that. Summer was crashing out. She was. Yeah, and I think that, it's okay to say that season 2 just wasn't good. Season 1, it was a solid show. They had a solid cast. It was a really cute show, season 1. But season 2, they all lost the plot, and it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. And I think that they need to take ownership of that instead of trying to blame it on, well, and I mean, again, I'm not saying that they didn't get a fair shot because Bravo did not promote them, right? I told you guys the tea about how they had to come out of their pocket for their own premiere party. Whereas with all the other shows, they get their premiere parties taken care of. That, that stuff like that's not right. They did not get proper promotion. But I feel like if the network is setting you up to fail, don't give them a reason to pull the plug yourself by not giving them something to work with, right? Bravo already gave you guys a short end of the stick. Do your part by making the show fun. The ratings tanked so bad, no fun at all, constant trauma dumping, and it was zero promotion. It's very true. Preston was the only one promoting it. She's going to end up on Summer House or Winter House. Well, I mean, Summer House, the filming is already wrapped. I didn't hear anything about her being on it. And then Winter House is on pause right now too. So I don't know about Winter House. It's unfair, but Miami has also been abandoned by the network again and again, but they make sure to give us a good show usually. Yeah, I agree. They didn't even hype each other up. It's very true. No, it was a prime case of blacks have to work harder, but they unfortunately didn't do the working part. They could have been like Shah's of Sunset. Yup. They didn't even hype each other up. Remember when that guy did the long run race and none of them showed up for him? How boring and disconnected. Yes, yep. Sorry, I dropped my phone. When Nick ran that marathon, I remember that they didn't even show up for him. And he was they were so disjointed. It wasn't fun to watch. They weren't having a good time. I think that if they do bring the show back, hands down, I think that Noelle deserves a second chance. I think that if anybody should come back, it should be Noelle and then bring a different cast. Yeah, I told you that. I gave you guys the inside scoop about that. Yes. Honey, you would have thought that they were on a hit show the way it was crazy. It was crazy. I'll never forget that low budget reunion Bravo gave them. Yeah, I know. They should revive with Brooke and Sag Harbor, since similar concept, but easier to get to. We want fun, luxury, and mess. Well, no, Summer House is already, the original one is already in the Hamptons, and the original Summer House is in Sag Harbor. So Bravo's not going to do a second one. They wouldn't, and it's funny because listen, I'll tell you a little bit of tea, but I actually did recommend that they focus on the black people who do go to the Hamptons, like the folks at Bravo, they look at my Instagram, so they know that I'm about that life. Okay, so you know what I'm saying. So I've said, hey, just so you know, there are black people with what I'm saying who live in the just in case you wanna they know that. So hey, I'm trying to do my part to get more black wealth on Bravo. Seems like it's falling on deaf ears, but yeah, but they're not gonna. They wouldn't do 2 Hampton shows. Front of the line. Thank you for the super chat. What would your tagline be? We want to know. Oh, for the longest time, I was gonna say it would have been like, how Nene was like, well, while you run your mouth, I run to the bank. It would have been a mix of like, while you run your mouth, I run to Neiman Marcus. Like it would have been that. I need to tweak it, but yeah, that's what it would be at the top of my head. Thank you for the super chat. So that would be a good show. Yeah, I've let them know. Yeah, yep. I've let them know. I have let them know. So I've done my small part. I've tried to use some of my influence, to get more of us on the show. So we shall see. But I know for a fact that Summer House Martha's Vineyard has a snowball's chance in hell of coming back. And if they do come back, most likely this same cast is not going to be back. It's going to be new faces. The girl with the dog was a brat, but not going to lie, she had star potential. Who had the dog? Which one was the dog? Which one? Wait, who had the dog? I am screaming. Brooke said, I'm not. You are so funny. Yes, honey. Word to Nicki Minaj. I am screaming. And I don't return my clothes like some of you. Okay, listen. Okay, exactly. Let them know. Honk the horn on them. Exactly. Y'all are so funny. Oh, it was Bria. They need to change the format. Them being there for 2 weeks is not long enough for anything. It seemed it needed a similar format to OG Summer House. But I think you have to understand. Okay, Bria, thank you. I think that you guys have to understand that the layout of the Hamptons and the layout of Martha's Vineyard, very different. I think that a show being on Martha's Vineyard is not going to give you the same vibe as the Hamptons. It's just not. I think that the location played a part in that. Hamptons is nightlife, restaurants, you have shopping, they have Hermes, they have a Chanel store, you have a kid, you have pop-ups, there's so much to do in the Hamptons. Martha's Vineyard is beautiful, but it's a sleepier vibe. You don't have the nightlife that the Hamptons does. You don't have the restaurants that the Hamptons does. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. They need a new location to go, or when it's party season. And yes, Martha's Vineyard has parties, but like a lot of them are house parties. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different vibe. It's not the same vibe. I think that also plays a part in to why OG Summer House is successful and Martha's Vineyard is not. Martha's Vineyard is just not where you go to turn up. It's not a turn up location. It's just not. Beautiful, but you're not going there to really just like, you're going to the Hamptons. Yes, Hamptons has clubs for days, nightlife for days, shopping for days. Martha's Vineyard is a different animal. Yes, the MV cast is too busy judging each other to allow for mindless fun. Exactly. Yes. It didn't help they went after August when it's popping. Yeah, well, the first season was in October when it was off season. This last season, they were actually there during peak season. They were actually there in August last season. But we didn't see them go to any of the parties. You know what I'm saying? So it just didn't. And none of them had roots there, right? None of them had connections there. That also plays a part into why the show just, didn't pop off the way it could have. Brooke, have you shared your thoughts on the Summer House spinoff? In the city. Okay, wait, I have some tea, but I don't know if I can share it. All I'm going to say is a few of the Martha's Vineyard cast members did try out for the spinoff. Oh, Caroline Manzo wants Martha's Vineyard back. My homegirl just got back from the Hamptons. She loved it. Yeah, it's fabulous. What type of show would you pitch for an all-black cast on Bravo? That's a good question. I don't know. Like, it's just tough, it's tough. I know that there was another show that like someone that I know was filming for Bravo, and it was about like rich Black women, and she was talking about the show, and like another reason why to move in silence, especially in entertainment, because you just, the rug can get pulled out from you at any time. But she was telling all of us how she was, on the show and she was filming, and um, the show was supposed to come out January 2022, and you see that we are in September 2025, approaching 2026. So yeah, the show, needless to say, got scrapped. But yeah, it just seems like you hear about these shows popping up for us and then they get scrapped. So who knows? Chicago all black cast would eat. I agree. There was supposed to be a Real Housewives of Toronto. That show, I think, Sweet Life with the Friend Group in LA was a good one. Oh yeah, the Sweet Life. Yes, that was a cute show. We need a blood, sweat, and heels type show. Yeah, that show was supposed to be that kind of show. And everybody was doing really well. Everybody was rich with the rich boyfriend. Yeah, and it got scrapped. Chicago should not have been a mixed cast in the city and not an all white cast in the suburbs. Like my boyfriend said, just flour and eggs. Yeah, I think that allegedly Chicago is filming now and and I'm like, baby, I used to live in Chicago. I love Chicago down, honey. Me and Chicago go together, right? But yeah, Chicago is too diverse and too rich and too beautiful of a city to be all and they showed the pictures of the cast allegedly, and everybody's not a chocolate chip in the damn cookie. Housewives of Houston would eat. I agree. Southern Charm, New Orleans had potential. It needed more black folks. Yes. When does Rhode Island? I'm hearing that Rhode Island is coming out top of next year, January of 2026. Yep, Dubai got canceled. What happened to that Atlanta matchmaking show? Yeah, that show only got 3 episodes. But my thing is though, Bravo likes to put these new shows on and then not promote them. Yeah, no, Chicago's stunning. You have Lincoln Park, you have Lakeview, River North, the Gold Coast, Viagra Triangle. Shout out to Listen, honey, I love Chicago. Yeah, Dubai got canceled. Chicago being an all-white cast just does not sit right with my spirit. I agree. R.I.P. Dubai. I would love to know why Dubai was canceled. Well, the ratings weren't good. The ratings weren't. And also, I feel like Dubai just wasn't really giving a whole lot. They were all scrambling for storylines. Again, just my humble opinion. Yeah, it got canceled after season 2. They have no plans to bring it back anytime soon. The ratings and the streaming numbers were low. Yes. Yeah, for black shows, they have to have those numbers right away. They don't get a lot of chances. Yeah, I agree. And I think that had Summer House Martha's Vineyard, had their first season ratings been lower than what they were, they wouldn't have gotten a season 2. Because I had heard that Bravo was not even trying to bring them back. They were actually going to be a 1-season show. So Bravo kind of feels like, well, we did you a favor by giving you 2 seasons, okay? But yeah, Summer House, the Martha's Vineyard, their ratings for season 1, they were strong. They were solid. They were getting in the 400,000s. They got their highest rated episode was 485. That's solid for a new show. But then you can't, if you have 485 as a start, they want to see you go up, not down. Season 2, they were getting 3s, and then they got all the way down to the low 2s, and they were just like, nope, we got to scrap it. The cast just became unlikable. I think they were probably limited in terms of what they could say or do as well because of Dubai's governmental structure. That's very true. That's very true. I feel like the first season of Dubai was a lot better. But on top of that, I think that we need to remember that Dubai's ratings sinking was due to the long pause. They were on pause for 2 years, and that hurts the momentum of any franchise. The respectability politics killed Martha's Vineyard. We need to show the power of viewership target style. I mean, people were into Martha's Vineyard, the season 1. Like they were getting the eyeballs, but I think that the attitude season 2, the attitudes and from the big egos, it didn't help their case with the attitudes on the show and the egos off the show. It didn't help their case. People were really a lot of y'all said, Brooke, I don't watch the show. I'll only watch your recaps. I don't like the cast. A lot of you guys told me, you said the reason why you stopped watching Martha's Vineyard was because you did not like the people. A lot of y'all said, Brooke, I stopped watching. I can't stand any of them. They're not likable. And that's what really killed their chances for a third season, in my opinion. When you turn people off, it's hard to get people to turn back on, You said they didn't have promotion. I did not know they were on if it wasn't for Kempire or Brooke. Yeah. You said, I love the show. Wasn't too many people to like, honestly, or eye candy. Honestly, I heard more about the cast being annoying than the show itself. They cried a little bit too much. Somebody was discussing that prison lady from New Jersey, that she may go to Miami as Alexia's friend. I don't think she would be a fit. It would be a no for me. I mean, listen, I wouldn't be surprised, because if Jersey is still off, Jersey's been off the show for almost 2 years now, and they need those checks. So I like, how many influential Black people are in the Gold Coast, Hyde Park, and the Bronzeville area. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. Oh yeah. I mean, Chicago is too beautiful and too diverse, but to be an all-white cast. If Chicago really is going to be a Real Housewives franchise, too diverse of a city to be an all-white cast. But I will say, if it is an all-white cast, like they are saying it is, it definitely goes to show how segregated the city really is. Because Chicago is definitely one of the most, like, the way the whole train system is, like, the history of Chicago is just fascinating to me. But yeah, no, there's so many wealthy Black people in Chicago that I think it's shameful if there are no Black women on on Chicago. Yes, Chicago is a very diverse city with a lot of segregation. Yes. There are rumors that Teresa and Louis are moving to Miami and might join the Real Housewives of Miami. I could see that. I mean, what does Louis have going on? What's his job? Isn't he in tax debt? They need every dime that they can get. Honestly, I think I'm okay without more Black shows on Bravo. Although I do like seeing Black cast members. The way Bravo handles them is always odd. Yeah, I think that unless it's a Real Housewives franchise, Bravo does drop the ball and is real lazy with promoting other Black shows that are not Real Housewives or Married to Medicine. Because the way that they fumbled the Summer House Martha's Vineyard bag is crazy. I mean, they did not promote them at all. They only got commercials on Sunday nights, 2 hours before their show started, which is unacceptable. Agreed. Teresa on Miami don't even make sense. I can't see Teresa on Miami. Maybe that's where the rumor that the 4 of the Miami Housewives are on the bubble. Louis was originally trying to date Alexia, so them joining the cast is interesting. Oh, I forgot about all that. I loved Summer House. I mean, they had potential to be a great show, but season 2, they lost all the steam when every episode was crying and wailing and sobbing and constant arguing. I mean, we got maybe 1 or 2 scenes of them with them laughing and having fun. It just does not work the same way. It's okay to have a little drama every now and again, but a show cannot last with just all drama. We need to see some fun, lighthearted moments. Now, guys, I've been on here long enough. I'm going to close out the live right here. I'm probably going to do a Real Housewives of Salt Lake City live. So that will be fun. Look forward to that. OC, I'm on the fence about. I still need to watch the episode. But if you guys are like, don't even bother with it, then I won't bother with it. But if I do bother with it, just join me on the live and we'll have fun. But guys, I hope that y'all enjoyed. Thank you to all the moderators. Thank you to everybody who super chatted. Thank you to everybody in the chat. And again, y'all, we're here to have fun and have a good time. And I appreciate you all. So thank you all. And I will see you all later. Bye, guys. Yes, we can just whack OC if you want to. We can just whack them.